Yes, there we are. We are live. Welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis Cocker, and with me tonight I have Stu Woolley. Tonight we will talk about the latest on Gyökeres. We will talk about the Garnacho. I think there's interest from the Premier League, Arsenal, Chelsea, a lot of clubs. Things are happening. Not Napoli, but Arsenal and Chelsea will be interesting. A lot of new updates with the transfers. Stu will be with me. We will talk about Man United, everything about Man United, and people. A lot of people in the chat. We are about 70 subscribers away from 1,000 and getting fully monetized. So if you are new, please give us a like and subscribe, and we will be back after the intro. So see you in a bit. Yes, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monday night, 9 p.m. On this night, it's 9:45 p.m. We are running a little late. Norway was playing against Estonia tonight. I think they won the game 1-0 with a goal from Holland, and we are on top of the group and are heading to the World Cup. Looks like it right now. And there's been some updates, some latest news. I think there's panic in the camp of Man United because of Gyökeres. Sporting is going back on their gentleman's agreement and want more money. The gentleman's agreement was about 59 to 60 million pounds. Now we are talking about 75 to 80 million pounds, if I'm correct. So, Stu, what's your thoughts on the latest updates on Gyökeres?
It's all bollocks, isn't it? It's all bollocks. It's sensationalism. And the interesting thing is everybody's kind of jumped on it over the last 2 hours on X. I think we've all seen it. Big hello to the Devilish Tacticos. Great to see you all again out to support Jarvis and myself. We really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. As Jarvis said in the intro, we are tantalizingly close. It's dangling. The carrot is dangling to 1,000 subscribers. We can't get it, can we, Jarvis? We just can't grab it just at this moment. Anything you can do to get us over the line this week would be monumental, and it would be testament to the work that Jarvis puts in behind the scenes about getting shows like us up and running. And when he's got an absolute useless wet blanket of a mate and a co-host to help him out, who I seem to be screwing up at the minute, and I don't know why. I'm talking about myself. It makes his job twice as hard. But we're here again, and we're talking about Gyökeres, and I've been giggling for the last 2 hours when I saw it break, Jarvis. I just, if Sporting Lisbon want to go back on a gentleman's agreement, so be it. So be it. Just, clubs have got to deal with what Sporting wants. Gyökeres has got to deal with what Sporting wants, and we as fans have got to deal with what Sporting wants. I don't believe it. I don't think that's happening. I think there'll be a sticking point, as you mentioned last night, Jarvis. There's always a sticking point in a transfer like that. But a little bit like Mbumo, if you believe everything that's written, Gyökeres is interesting coming to Manchester United, and so be it. But we kind of reasoned, if you were on the stream last night, you would have realised that we reasoned that there's not many homes for Gyökeres to go to. In terms of big teams that want big strikers, there's very, very few out there. So I don't necessarily believe it, Jarvis. But hey, we could be wrong, couldn't we, pal? We could be wrong.
We could be wrong. I'm just happy. I'm celebrating. Haaland scored his 42nd goal in 43 games for Norway. So I'm not complaining. Hopefully, I will live to see another World Cup with Norway. The last one was in '98. So
Yes. Yeah.
it's a big thing for us Norwegians. By the way, did England play tonight? No, do you not?
No, I don't know. I think we play tomorrow, but we're rubbish anyway. So
Yeah. But you were able to beat Malta 1-0.
we were able to beat Andorra, the mighty
Andorra.
Andorra 1-0.
Yeah, well, that's a
Mighty
good result.
Andorra. Oh,
It's a good
I'm not
result.
sure about that. I'm not
I
sure.
just want to say hi to the Devilish
Yes.
Tacticals. A lot of people left their comments in already. Stephanie Griffith, one of our chief moderators, coming in and say early like for the likely lads. Thank you,
Yes,
Stephanie.
please.
We have Jamie Wayne in the house coming in and say Gyökeres wants United. Yes, Jarl Malamin is also here and say Gyökeres will also cost 100 million. So yeah, we will see
It's a lot of money.
how that one will play out. We have Ben in the house, none other than Ben Dower or Ben Dower. I don't know how to say his name.
What Ben? Ben is in the house. Ben is in the house. Yes. Welcome, Ben. Thank you for your subscription, old pal.
Yeah, he's coming in and say, I hear some rumors about Garnacho to Arsenal too. Is that true? And good evening. Thank you, Ben. I'm not going to comment on your thumbnail.
Yes.
We have Big Bad Rom in the house. Does anyone know what Chelsea are trying to do? They are not even trying to win the league. It's so weird spending all that money on love and product youngsters. Well, time will show if they will win the league. I think they have a plan somewhere in the deluded mind of what's his name?
Tom Bowley.
Tom Bowley. Yes.
Or Tom
We will
Bowler,
see.
because he seems to be more like a Tom Bowler, doesn't he? Just picking out a
Tombola.
number. That's
Yeah.
a football for you.
And we have Gavin in Underwood here. We have William Fisher. Good to see you, William. Complaining about us. We are going late.
Sorry,
Tom
William.
Porter coming in. Big up Tom Porter. Wolps is here. Stu Wolps, one of our moderators. Hawk to
Yes. Yeah, the legend Hot Two's in. Good to see you, pal. Good to see you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Good to see you. Rebel Bakir, who else is here? Just Ahmad is free from 10 haram. Comes in with a question: why do you think, or who do you think are Norway's best players do, other than the obvious Haaland? Thoughts on Antonio Nusa, the Norwegian Neymar? I don't know if you remember, Stu, but I did the presentation of Antonio Nusa, I would say 2.5 years ago.
That was a while ago, wasn't it? Yeah,
yes.
A long time ago. Yeah. Actually, to be fair, Ahmed, Jarvis is your best guy on this panel to discuss Norwegian players. We don't get the Norway games in the UK, so we don't get to see them unless they're playing English teams or British teams. So it's very difficult for us to get a handle on Norwegian players. So Jarvis is your best player to come with on that one.
Well, we have several, but a lot of these guys. We have Strand Larsen from Wolves. We have Sørloth, plays for Atletico Madrid. Obviously, Odegaard, Sander Berge. But there's
team,
other talented players. The little dynamo who plays on Bodø/Glimt, Patrick Berg, for example, fantastic midfielder. Where we lack is in defense. I think that's been Norway's, I would say, Achilles heel when it comes to football the last couple of years. But we are improving even in that aspect. Young centre backs coming up, young good fullbacks. So I'm happy and I'm looking forward to it. And Jarle Malmin says, don't forget about Oscar Bob, the Manchester City youngster.
Injured though, isn't he? Injured.
No, he's back. He's back
now,
he played now. So yeah, and we have obviously the diamond in the Norwegian team, I would say, is Antonio Nusa. He's the X factor. He can do everything with the ball. He's kind of similar to Neymar. Superb control in his body, 100% control on the ball. Fantastic. And he's a flair player, really flair player like the old Brazilians. So he's the one to look out for. And if we could sign a player like that, I would be delighted. I think he's fantastic. But now he plays in Germany. Leipzig, Leipzig, I believe.
He plays for RB, does he? RB Leipzig. Oh no.
No,
Yeah,
RB Red Bull. Red Bull.
RB
What's the
Leipzig.
German team? What's the German Red Bull?
Leipzig.
Yeah, so it's Leipzig.
Okay, cool.
Not Salzburg.
Like I say, I don't know. No, that's Austria. No, I need to have a look at him. I don't know enough. New subscriber, Solomon. Great to have you, Solomon. Thank you.
Solomon Jones. Nice name. I love that name.
From Jarvis for you. Absolutely brilliant. Well, there's been a lot happening, hasn't there? First and foremost, I don't know if you've seen, but Jarvis has added the latest comments come on the actual screen. So if you're looking bottom right hand corner, I don't know if he knows how he's done that by looking at his face, but he's definitely done it. So,
no comments on stage. So I don't know. It's a new update on StreamYard.
Yeah, it seems to be, doesn't it? Yeah.
Beta testing. I don't know if you guys, if you want me to remove it, I can just remove it, or I can keep it on.
Yeah, it's quite cool. If you push them a bit over my face, that means people haven't got to look at me while I'm speaking, and that's always a handy one, isn't it, guys and gals in the devilish tactic codes. So, what do you like about Noosa then, Jarvis? What's the?
Yeah, well, it's his unpredictability. He's an X factor player. You know, he has the old Brazilian flair, and he can do things with the ball that no one else can. You know, and you know, you don't see many flair players in the modern game. You know, it's all about power, pace, physique, and you know, it's efficiency. But being a flair player, that's seldomly. I don't know. Can you mention one or two other flair players in the modern game?
Well, there isn't really. You've got young Lamina Yamal, I suppose. Although I thought Mendes absolutely buried him. And I don't think Lamar's come out of Mendes's pocket yet. Still, I think Mendes took him home with him and tapped him on the head while he was in there. Yeah. I know he's a 17-year-old lad, but you know, if you want to become the very, very best in the world, then you have to consider where you are and what you're doing and how you evolve. Ahmad has got the potential to offer flair with his dribbling ability.
Yes.
Dembele. Vitinha has got a little bit of flair, although I thought he was quite quiet last night. I thought Zubimendi upstaged Vitinha last night personally, and he's got as much flair as I have. Zubimendi. Pedro, nice player, but you're right. There's not that kind of Neymar in his prime anymore, is there? There's no Messi in their prime. There's no Georgie Best anymore. You know, those types of players that can get the ball and run with the ball, carry the ball.
Georgie, but if you're old enough to remember Georgie Best, he was a really flair player. But mention the Brazilians, all of the Brazilians in the day, you know,
well,
and Maradona.
Yeah, well, of course, Diego Maradona. So there aren't those players anymore, and you know, people talk about again modernism in the game. You know, but football really used to be about flair players. You know, athletes weren't always the first thing when it comes to you know, looking at footballers and how to develop a footballer. But now you've got to be athletic first. Yeah, Ronaldinho, of course. Now you can be athletic first.
One of my all-time favorites, Ronaldinho. Oh,
you know, I like Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, the R9, the Brazilian Ronaldo.
Fox calling you out here. There's loads of flair players, Jarvis. But I understand why you asked.
Palhinha, Echeverri. But you know,
but they're not X Factor, are they? Rafinha, he's not X Factor. Vinicius, not X Factor. He's no Maradona, are they? No Georgie Best. Now Rivaldo, he was a brilliant player until he kind of upset, you know, ruined his career, didn't he? With the with the Greece incident.
Shame.
Oof. I mean, Antonio's right. Pete's right. Gaza, you know, at his time, Absolutely, Pete. Absolutely, mate.
Yes, and Chris Waddle.
Mm.
Chris Waddle. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Chris Waddle. He was a
The
magician
waddler.
on the ball.
The
Yeah, the
waddler.
waddle. The waddler.
So when we were kids, Jarvis, I didn't. But a lot of the lads at that particular time who liked the waddler had the rear perm.
Okay.
The waddle had the back of his head permed. Pete will tell you this. He had the back of his his hair permed and straight at the top. It was embarrassing. Volps, yeah, you're talking about Batistuta. If you remember back in the days of Luque and Kempes, flowing locks for Argentina, absolutely tremendous players. Kempes wasn't one of Flair, but he was got a lot of pace and a lot of power.
Yes, Campus 78. Guys, I will post a Twitter link in the chat for you to go and press it and retweet or like it. That will help out us to reach out to a bigger audience. But that's what we're always trying to do. We want to reach that 1,000 subscribers and be fully monetized as a serious channel that we are. 28 likes from the Bootinator, one of our moderators coming in, pushing for the likes. Thank you, Bootinator. I appreciate all the job you do as a moderator. So let's go to the main topic of the evening. It's all about Garnacho. So the latest here, let me bring it up. Give me a second, guys.
What you're doing that, Dave, is questioning the mullet and the moustache. He's back with the kids. I don't get it. Absolutely agree with you, Dave, because I certainly don't get it, pal. Tom said he had a mullet when had a mullet cut yesterday. Tom, I'd love to see that mullet. Absolutely love to it.
Mullet.
And Daniel Brown says, of course, Daniel Ginola. Yeah, great player.
Yes, great player. And John Barnes. Yes, John Barnes. He was also the Jamaican player, John Barnes. Why did he play for England? He was Jamaican, wasn't he?
He was a Jamaican Maradona.
He was. But he played for the wrong team.
Yeah, he was never called the English Maradona. I think he was called the Jamaican Maradona.
He even played a little bit for Newcastle in his later years.
Towards the end, he played in Newcastle.
Yeah. Well, the news on Garnacho is Manchester United forever is the Gaston Doll coming in and say Garnacho does not want to move to Italy, so Napoli. His preference is to stay in the Premier League. Arsenal and Chelsea remain interested. So, Stu, we all know that Garnacho is gone. He's not staying at Man United. That news came out, I would say, on Friday, or was it Thursday? So
Thursday, Friday, yeah.
That ship has sailed. He's been in a lot of, I would say, whining and pissing and moaning with Garnacho not playing. And we all remember after his comments after the Europa League final, disappointed he didn't play more minutes. So is it a good thing selling Garnacho right now, or do you feel any remorse, selling him because he's 20 years old, his experience, he's an Argentinian international, and we haven't seen his full potential? How do you feel about the Garnacho thing?
We are in a situation, and have been for a long, long time, we're allowing players to whine and moan and cry and get upset. And, if you look at them properly, they'll call HR and they'll get the police round after you and all this kind of stuff. And I think it's time that the club takes a stand, like we have done in the past, with Yapstam, Roy Keane, Mark Hughes, Brian Robson, Gary Pallister, Steve Bruce, amazing footballers.
Big up Cass.
That were just moved on. Paul Ince, because it was the right time to move them on. And it's the right time to move Garnacho on. What I would say is, though, he should not dictate as to good to see you, Cass, whether or not we sell him to where he wants to go. He goes where Manchester United tell him. And the club has got to say to his agents, we will negotiate and we'll get the best price for Manchester United, and that is it. And if you don't want to go to Italy and you want to go to stay in the Premier League, here's our asking price. This is what we want for you. We will not budge for this. Talk to your agents. Tell their agents to tell the intermediaries, because that's what happens now. There's intermediaries before you go.
Call a guy who knows a guy who can call a guy who knows a guy. And then
and make it very, very clear that we want £70 million for you. Do not come knocking on my door unless you're prepared to give me £70 million. And that's it, period. You are not, you no longer dictate to Manchester United what you want to do. We are telling you from here on in what's going to happen, because that's what happened. We all know the stories with Sir Alex. Paul Ince tells you all the time, you got a call. He was at the races, or he was somewhere. The boss wants to see you. Where is he? He's outside. Oh, all right. Then. So
hold that thought, Stu. Cass, I'll send you the link. If you're free, just jump on whenever you're ready.
Yeah, jump on, Cass. Yeah,
check your X.
Yeah. So he goes outside as Fergie in his Merc, gets in the back seat. Hey, boss, what's up? We sold you to Inter Milan. Oh, well, no, we sold you to Inter Milan. Call your agent. He'll give you the details. Thanks very much. The end. The end. He gets out, shuts the door, and that's it. There's a whole host of stuff. And by the way, I appreciate in today's day and age, you cannot maybe approach people like that. But what I think you should, I think you should be in a situation where you do dictate to these players now, because we have suffered as a club and as a fan base way too long, for way too long. And we can't cope with it. So if you don't want to be here, Garnacho, these are the terms of your release. The end. The end. And if you don't go, it's then up to the manager what he does with you.
Yeah. But we are now in a situation where we most likely are forced to sell him because of the PSR FFP ruling, and we need that extra cash injection into our club and leeway to spend more money. So in a way, he dictates a lot of the situation, because we have to sell him this window for our plans to go through. We talked about it yesterday. To fund Gyökeres, we most likely need to sell Garnacho, and the rumors say we have to sell Garnacho to buy Gyökeres.
No, but we've got to do something. I appreciate what you're saying, and I totally agree. But somewhere along the line, somewhere at Manchester United in the boardroom's got to say, enough is enough. You will do what we tell you to do. Player power's got to stop, Jarvis, at some point. It has to stop.
But he has the power in this situation, because we're desperate for a striker. I'm just saying, trying to play devil's advocate.
No, you've got to play devil's advocate, but I wouldn't allow him to dictate. I would make him expendable. And either we move him, get the money in, or tough. It really is that to me. You either, we're getting closer. You either do it or you don't. But we are going to tell you how this is going to go down. And we must do that, Jarvis. We have to stop. We've got to draw the line somewhere, pal. We've got to do the same with Sancho.
You're preaching to the choir.
Oh, I know you know. I know you're just playing devil's advocate.
You're saying. And I'm almost certain to 100% that the tactical, the devilish tacticals also agrees with us when it comes to this. We are so sick of being held ransom for the players and the player power in this club. We have been seeing it for years after years. Martial, Pogba, you name it. I'm so sick of it, and I hope the club knows how to handle the situation really well. But we are in a situation where we need to sell Garnacho, and I think 70 million is an overreach for what clubs are willing to pay for him at the moment. Especially when it comes to Napoli, I don't think they will cough up 70 million for him. Maybe if Arsenal and Chelsea comes in a bidding war, and now you saw the latest news, and we have also more on this. This comes in from at the stage. Where is it? There we go. It's from Anil Kandola. You know him from Talk Sports. He comes in and say Alejandro Garnacho's latest. Okay, let me read. My understanding is Garnacho preferences would be remaining in the Premier League. Chelsea are one of the serious contenders for the players. Man United's preference would be to sell him abroad, but will reluctantly sell him to a fellow Premier League side for the right price. So we are willing to sell if the price is right. And United see Garnacho as one of their biggest sales of the summer and would like to drive competitive tension between the several clubs that are interested. The end from Anil Kandola. And I think he sums it up really well.
Yeah. I mean, look, you want to go to Chelsea, go to Chelsea. It's a dangerous move for a 20-year-old player. Are you necessarily going to play? Nobody knows. They've got a bloated squad, Chelsea. Are they going to be able to remove players out? I don't know. I actually think he'd be better suited at Arsenal. I think Arsenal would be a brilliant move for him.
But then he will be up against Martinelli and Saka on the wings.
Well, it's up to him. If he cries at Arsenal, let him cry.
And Trossard.
Yeah, let him cry. If you're afraid of competition and professional football, do something else. I wonder what would happen though, and it won't happen if Real Madrid came in for him. What would his stance be there? Well, I want to stay in the Premier League, or do I want to go to Real Madrid? Things of that nature. Would he go to Leverkusen? Absolutely not. Bayern Munich, they're looking to move Leroy Sané on. Would that be a good move for him? Probably not. Would Napoli be a good move for him? Who knows? AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus, I don't know. I would imagine there's a lot of clubs will be looking at and monitoring what's happening with Garnacho. But if he wants to stay in the UK, there is a UK premium. We're paying it already. You're not going to let him go cheaper.
And it goes under the homegrown rule, doesn't he? Because he played for the academy. Yes. So if Chelsea sign him, he will be a homegrown player.
Yes, you're not going to sell him cheaper than what we're getting Cunha for. And then Mbeumo. Why would you? He's got better stock value because of his age. So there's a premium to be paid. So, we've got to make sure whatever we do with him, we get the money, period. I'm with you. And your devil's advocate is absolutely right. You are right. We could be forced into this situation. So...
Yeah, I feel in a way that Garnacho dictates the situation where we want to go. He can. Okay, I don't want to go to Napoli. He can just throw out an crazy wage demand, for example, to block the transfer.
Yeah, absolutely, and that could well happen. Sancho appears to have done that with Chelsea, doesn't he? I'm not budging on my wages, so I'll just go back to Man United.
I mean, no one plays. They are greedy when it comes to money.
The more and more and more that we're seeing it, the more and more that we're experiencing it. This is why it's massively refreshing that Mbeumo has said Manchester United or nothing. Cunha, Manchester United. And maybe with Gyökeres, Jarvis, Manchester United. We don't know, do we? But that's what we want now. We don't want any of this bullshit about I'm coming for the salary anymore. You come for the shirt. If you're not coming for this, go somewhere else. And this is the issue. Garnacho, do you want this or do you want that?
Yeah.
And if you want that, go to Chelsea. You'll get an 8-year contract at Chelsea, Jarvis, on 80 grand a week.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. Stephanie comes in and say Garnacho at Spurs or West Ham could also happen. Yeah. Other Premier League clubs are probably interested in him. And because he's only 20 years of age, he's young, but he's really experienced. I don't know how many games he's played, but more than 100, I believe, in the Premier League.
Manchester United, Jarvis, you've probably got West Ham, you've probably got a money issue. Maybe not so much with Spurs, but definitely with West Ham. There is going to be a big fee. I agree. We can get the money for him. We can get the money for Ronaldo. We get the money for Sancho. Whatever little bit we'll get off Sancho. Now we're not going to get a huge amount, but Garnacho and Antin are our two biggest pots of gold, aren't they? They are our two biggest pots of gold.
And Greenwood, I believe, maybe he could give us something. If,
that's gone quiet. We don't.
The big tops comes in.
Yeah, I mean, we sold him to Marseille, didn't we?
We did, but I think we have a resale,
We've got a resale.
something about
Yeah.
50% at least, so half of it will come directly into us. And
Jamie's saying that Mbumo's 90% done. Cheers for that, Jamie, lad. Thank you. Good info for us, mate.
I hope we get a here we go
Good info.
soon on the Mbumo.
Stephanie Griffiths says, by the way, 150 appearances for Garnacho, Jarvis.
Wow.
Yeah,
At
big
20 years of age.
So again, that should enhance the value, pal. Should enhance the monetary value.
Okay, let's move this Garnacho debate to another level when we talk about youngsters, because we all remember Ronaldo in his younger years between 18 to 20. We all remember Ryan Giggs and other players like them with a lot of games. I must say sometimes I was really frustrated with both Giggs and Ronaldo at a young age. But now we know how, one of the greatest players in the Premier League and one of the greatest players in the world. So is it a wise idea to sell Garnacho now without knowing his ceiling? And I know that I like him because he has an X factor. He can do stuff that other can't, and he's really, really strong mentally. And I think he has the will to win, and he wants to go somewhere in his career.
Look at players that have hit the Premier League at that age. Ryan Giggs, Cristiano Ronaldo, Phil Foden, Wayne Rooney. Those four players have got a much stronger mental ceiling than other players who have hit the Premier League at that age and not gone anywhere. People remember Francis Jeffers a long, long time ago. Never made it.
He went to Everton, didn't he?
Yeah, attitude. People remember Danny Cadamarteri at Everton. Never made it. Attitude. Federico Makeda at Manchester United. Never made it. Attitude. And if you've got Keith Gillespie, attitude. Lee Sharp had a good couple of years with us, but attitude. The Sharpie shuffle, the party, and etc. 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 Giggs loved to party and all that kind of stuff. He did, but when it came to the job of being a professional footballer, it was worlds apart. To that, I'm not talking about what he's done this season, Pete. I'm talking about his mental strength, and his ability to kind of get on and play and work hard to try and get into it. You don't see Phil Foden coming out in the press. You never saw Giggs coming out. You didn't see Wayne Rooney coming out. Look, I know before anyone says, by the way, Twitter wasn't out then, etc., etc. But they were still talking to journos all the time. And Garnacho is coming out constantly, and he's got this entourage around him, which is a problem. Rashford's issue right now is a problem with entourage. We all know it. Let's be honest. We all know it. It's entourage. His brother has allowed this to happen. And we've had players in the past. Nicolas Anelka at City. It was another great player, but look what happened. Entourage. Paul Pogba. Entourage. It's you've got to stop that. So when you get players in and you get people that come through, you've got to make sure that they are mentally strong, not just brilliant footballers, but mentally strong.
Yeah.
And what we don't need right now is somebody coming in and disrupting any kind of equilibrium that Amrin is trying to build, what he wants to try and build. And if there's a problem and he gets dropped and he starts crying in the press again, we don't want him around this club. So we have got to move out these players, every single one of them. We know what happened with Greenwood. He disgusted everybody in and around that is involved with the club. Forget his footballing talent, which we know, but we couldn't cope with him and his attitude and what he did, because you can't hear what we heard. So you've got to go. So Jarvis, I think you're absolutely right. I think there is a player in Garnacho that nurtured right could be one of the very, very best. But I don't think we can allow that attitude. Unless that attitude changes completely, and I'm talking a complete 360, he's got to go for me.
Stu, you are speaking so many facts that I don't have any replies. I agree 100% with what you're saying. I just want to bring in some comments from
Yeah,
the Devilish Tacticals. We have Catherine McDade coming in. Big up, Catherine. Hope you're
she's
well.
right.
She said we should stay away from players with the big fucking egos, and I think if that's the attitude, we will miss out on players like, for example, Cantona, because he had a great big fucking ego when we
But
talk
he
about.
knew how to harness that ego, didn't he?
Yeah,
He,
I'm
he
not
used,
disagreeing
yeah,
with you, Catherine.
yeah.
I know what you're meaning, but there's a fine line between big effing ego and you know being a
He, yeah, he knew how to use his ego, didn't he, Cantona? He knew
yeah.
what it was about. He knew that. But don't forget, also, Jarvis, the dressing room he wandered into. There was already been massive egos there, wasn't there?
Mm, mm,
Bruce, Pallister, Ince, big fucking big massive egos. Giggs's balls were developing at that time, and we've had this issue where Garnacho, Hoyland, Mainu, they've come into a very fragile ego first team,
yeah,
and so Cunha's got a big ego, but that's I think it's a different type of ego to me, to Cantona ego. It's a different
mm,
type of ego. Emi Martinez, different type of ego, almost Schmeichel-esque in his attitude. Roy
yeah,
Keane will tell you, if you listen to Roy Keane, he'll tell you Schmeichel was an absolute fucker.
mm,
Steve Bruce will tell you the same. Gary Pallister, they all hated Schmeichel. Ince hated him because he was big, imposing, bellowing. But they were each individually strong. That team of individuals was hard men, big men and hard men.
yeah.
And
Robson, Hughes, Cantona, Bruce, Pallister, Ince, Keane.
yeah,
Wow.
all tough men.
Yes.
And we
Yeah.
haven't got that. You've got
Don't forget Dennis Irwin. I think he also
Dennis
was a
Irwin,
leader.
yeah.
Yeah.
Today you've got social media egos more than anything. Oh, I was disappointed I only got 20 minutes.
Mm.
Don't talk to us about it. Don't talk to the fans about it. Go and speak to the gaffer. You haven't got the bollocks to talk to the gaffer, have you? You're not going to go knock on his door and say, oh, Gary Neville once says he had a really bad game for England one weekend, and he needed his boots, so he went into I think it was a few days. I think we had an England international a few days after we lost to Barcelona in the European Cup, and he said he went in at 6:15 to avoid Sir Alex, but he was already there. He was already in the office. The light was on. Nobody was there, but apart from Sir Alex, and he had to come around to get what he wanted. Those days are gone. They don't exist anymore, Jarvis. And I've got the Greenough brothers. Now you're talking. Jimmy and Brian, absolutely brilliant. That's my era. That is Red or Dead. Red or Dead, yes, nice. 69. So I take it you were born in 1969. I'm a 70s child.
When was this? The Greenhoff. That's
Greenough brothers around the 70s. Yeah, the Greenough brothers.
yeah. We all know.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So I'm taking you were born in 69, pal.
Summer of '69.
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. But
I just want to say hi to Bam is in the house. Big up,
Bum,
evening VAR and the moderators. We call it the Devilish Tacticals, but big up, Bam. Good to see you. Good to see
929 subs. Come on, guys. Come on.
you. You called it.
Legend.
You called it.
Legend. I was born in 70.
You called it right away.
Legend.
One comment and you knew it right away. I just want to say this is the Jarvis's Corner, the Monday night shows. We talk a little bit deeper about football and everything around, not just the news report, and move on to the next one. So I hope you like the concept on Mondays. It's more around talking and debating several aspects of football, not just the main facts and news. Wow, Mbumo is happening. Do a couple of comments. I will just quick go
I just want
through
to ask the
X
Devil's
and see if
Tacticos.
you can find.
So Jarvis is when he did the new opening video for us, who recognised I think it was Jimmy who recognised Jimmy Greenough in the video. So Jimmy Greenough was there getting his head patted by the great Ray Clements in one of my favourite kits, by the way, the white with the 4 stripes down the side. I'd love Adidas to bring that one up back, Jarvis. Not have the stripes
The
down
one with
there.
the 3 stripes here?
Yeah, have the
Admiral?
stripes down there. The Admiral one, yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
a beauty.
had it as a tiddler. I absolutely love that. V's got a point. You know, we don't like Fordiola. We know that. But he does have extremely high standards. You look at Liverpool guys, there's a very short clip goes around with Virgil van Dijk. Andy Robertson coming out saying, oh, he's always on the front row there on a photo shoot. And, you know, Van Dijk's there saying, tell him to shut up. Oh, by the way, tie your bootlaces up. You know, that type of thing. It's little tiny things like that. That attention to detail with a group of winners that makes you want to win. So
I can't find anything on Mbumo other than Spurs are unlikely to enter the race for Mbumo, with sources disclosing such a prospect was highly unlikely. This from Mike Keegan. I don't have anything. So if you have a link to the latest, if there's any updates on Mbumo, just smash the link into the live chat and we'll have a look. So,
Jarvis,
but thank you, Jamie.
What's my favourite FA Cup final moment? So Red or Dead is talking about. Actually, it was
Doherty.
No, 79. It was the Arsenal one, if you remember. I talk about it. It was actually Alan Sunderland got the winning goal. Red or Dead, if you remember. The ball came in from Liam Brady, evaded Gary Bailey, and I'm pretty sure it was Sunderland that put it in. That could be. Frank Stapleton did score. Absolutely. I thought he got the second, Stapleton. Brian Talbot definitely got the first. So I think it was Sunderland. But my memory is a lot hazy now, Red or Dead. But yeah, I was gutted with that particular one. Jarvis, is great to have historical content helping young fans. Thanks, Barman. Yeah, absolutely superb. Yeah, absolutely superb. We like that. Me and Jarvis, we do like talking. We asked a question last night by Red Devils, and he was asking us about the difference between AstroTurf and grass.
That was a great question.
Yeah, I mean, Jarvis spent about 10 minutes waxing lyrical about different football boots, patterns, studs, the difference between AstroTurf and grass, and how it can affect your arches and your out. And so, if you're interested in stuff like that, towards the end of the show last night, there was lots of little bits. But with there's a guy that was on last night called John Commode. And he's out in Florida at the moment, so we can't always get him on. But he has a wealth of knowledge, doesn't he, when it comes to early United?
John Kay knows his football. Yeah.
If you want us to do something on early United, absolutely, we'd love to do something because we all love football, don't we, Jarvis? And we all love Manchester United. 40 likes. Thank you for that. Jarvis and Stu, some rival fans laughed at me telling me Mbumo is not Man United standard. I think they're lying. Tyrone, they know F all about football then. Because if you've watched the way that Mbumo plays, then he would fit us down to the ground. He's got the attitude, first and foremost, the right attitude that we're looking for. He's good with the ball. Jarvis, go through his hit map with you if you want. Jarvis would love him as a right wing back. So Jarvis has done his intelligence on Mbumo, Tyrone. So I'd stick 2 fingers up to them and say, come back when you want to understand football, something along those lines. Yes, by the way, just before we go any further, Uri Rennie sadly passed away last night, didn't he? So our thoughts and prayers are with his family. Uri Rennie, brilliant referee. Brilliant referee. So our good old friend.
He used to ref in the 80s or?
He was 90s. He was 90s, yeah. It was Uri Rennie. A friend of the channel. We will get Keith back on in a couple of weeks and we'll ask Keith to talk about Uri Rennie.
Yeah, we need Keith back. I haven't seen Keith in a while. It would be nice to have him on. Yeah.
Yes. Red Dead 69 did corroborate it. It was Alan Sunderland pal.
Mm,
This is
mm.
great. What else have we got here?
I want to bring up this comment from the Routinator. He said,
Yes,
1977,
we
77
did.
Naples
We
Soccer
did.
team,
The skip rat.
97 made it 83.
We did
So
indeed. We did indeed.
100% stop the skip rats, skip rats winning the treble. So
Yes, we did indeed. Absolutely. What else have we got?
yeah.
Jamie Wayne, Spurs beat us. That will never happen in no fucking way, especially not in a final. Totally agree. We'll give Spurs 4 wins last season. Then we've got to hope next season, have they, Jarvis? No chance.
Stu, you want to go to some updates?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
There's loads of comments.
We can talk all night, but no problem.
Yeah,
There are some. It came out earlier this evening. Probably old news by now because everything happens so fast. But this came out from Center Devils. It's Sky Sports, but they're not as reliable as they used to. But new Manchester United are expected to go back with an improved offer from Brentford forward Brian Mbeumo after having their first bid rejected. Remain optimistic a deal can be struck. But this we reported yesterday. So I don't think there's much to say. There's not any updates, but Spurs were rejected by Mbeumo, and I think he wants to come to United. So it's just a matter of price, and I think the payment plan is very important because we want to get it as low as possible for the first year because we need the money now. That's
I think
the
that's
main
what they're
objective.
negotiating. I think the sticking point is the payment terms.
Yeah.
I think Jamie's right. I think the sticking point is payment terms.
Yeah, but no one has mentioned this too when it comes to Brighton, because Thomas Frank is leaving. He's leaving to
Brentford. Sorry, yeah,
Brentford. Yeah,
it's
sorry.
an easy link though. It's Jarvis. It's an easy link, isn't it? You leave Tactical Devils. We know there's only one place you're going, and that is Stretford Paddock. You know, because that's the next step. You know, it's be an open secret. That's where you would go. But my point being, and then obviously you would drag me across the Stretford Paddock because that, you know, that's what we do. We're a bit of a double act, and people see a manager, Thomas Frank and Mbeumo, as a double act. Oh, got it. We've done it with all managers that we've been that we've had. Ruben Amorim, who's he going to bring from Sporting? Ajax with Eric Ten Hag. You know, who was David Moyes going to bring from Everton at the time? You know, it always happens. Palhinha, yeah, it always happens. It does. So, I would.
But that's not my point, Stu. My point is
no. I'm sorry. I know what your point is.
They are getting a new manager, Brentford.
Yeah.
And when you bring a new manager in, you have to promise him something. You have to promising money to bring in his players. So obviously they want as much money as possible for Mbeumo now in this window, so they can offer the new manager a lot of money. And by the way, we heard Kieran McKenna is one of the candidates for the role at the Brentford. And it will be interesting. So I think Brentford will hold out for a lot of money, and especially when it comes to the payment plan. They want as much money as possible for the first year because they want to bring in as many players as possible for their new manager. So I think that's a difficult thing now. And because of this Thomas Frank news, I think they made the Mbeumo deal more difficult for us. And no one has mentioned that.
I know, I agree. But, you know, Thomas Frank, goes to Tottenham. He's got to assess the squad and he's got to make his own decisions. So I can't see I can't see there being problems, but I do believe they'll want money, and I believe the negotiation is all about the financing at this point.
Yeah, and Catherine coming in and say, imagine if Ange Postecoglou goes to Brentford.
That would be quite funny.
That would be quite funny, but I don't see him as a similar manager as Thomas Frank. Postecoglou is more of an attacking manager. If you look away from the Europa League final, but it's a tough call. But I don't see they choose to play a manager like him. I would, and Kieran McKenna, I think, is a talent. He's a young up and coming manager, so maybe he will do better than he did with Ipswich, but not everybody's agreeing with me. We is coming in and say Kieran McKenna will ruin Brentford, average manager.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. Oh well, it's difficult to gauge McKenna. 12 months in the Premier League. They didn't spend a lot of money. Ipswich, substandard team. I'll be interested to see. I think he'd probably do okay at Brentford, to be honest. But I wouldn't disagree with that. I think any of us would have had Thomas Frank at Old Trafford. He's a very, very there's some really good young managers in and around the Premier League at the moment. Glasner at Palace is a very, very good manager. Areola at Bournemouth, very, very good manager. So there's a lot a lot of good managers.
I rate Glasner and Iraola. I think he's really one of the best in the Premier League. I have some updates, Stu, when it comes to this one. I don't know if you saw this today, but officially Manchester United now has released 10 players. So players are leaving, and let's see. I have some names here. Other than the obvious ones, it's Christian Eriksen, Johnny Evans, and who was the third one? Lindelof.
Lindelof, yeah.
Yes. We have these names. I don't know if any one of these will be missed. It's Hubert Gresnik, Jack Kingdon, Sam Murray, Tom Miles, James Nolan, and Tom Wooster. Do you know any one of them from the academy, or
no?
So
Never come across them, pal.
Yeah. So you think we are fine with 10 players leaving now?
Oh yeah, got no problem with that at all.
No, and then he comes in and say no one were good enough, and
yeah. If you're released, you're not good enough. Simple as that. So
yeah, and we comes in. Wow, look how bang average United Academy is. I think we have a good academy, to be honest, but these players won't be missed. The only one I've heard about is James Nolan. Sam Murray is a goalkeeper, isn't he? I believe. Yeah, he's one of the.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think our younger goalkeepers aren't. We're not riddled with great goalkeepers at the moment.
Yeah. But I'm happy with them leaving, and I wish them well. And hopefully they can get a career elsewhere.
Yes.
And if they do well, we won't receive any money, will we? Or is it like?
No, if they've been released, they not had the contracts renewed, so they'll all be free players.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just I see Manuel Odori comes in and say Jack Kingdom was not bad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yeah. And Murray was the left back. Hubert is a keeper too, I think. Yeah. Question for you, Stu, from Tyrone Williams. Big up Tyrone, coming in and say, is Vitek still at Man United? Not seen much of him.
I think he's out on loan somewhere, isn't he? Germany or Austria. Not exactly which club he is, but I believe he's on loan, Tyrone. We'll have to check that out for you.
And we mentioned this and talked a little bit about it. Thomas Frank and Ben Jacobs reported earlier this night, saying Frank's release clause is in the region of 10 million. So clubs are in the process of finalizing the deal after Frank both agreed terms and informed Brentford of his decision to leave, and ongoing talks over the backroom staff as well. And then he came out with Kieran McKenna, one name considered by Brentford to replace Frank, but shortlisted being determined. So it's not 100% sure it's going to be Kieran McKenna, but it's one of the candidates. And you mentioned a couple of other candidates, Postecoglou, to mention one of them.
Yeah,
but Thomas Frank is interesting. But would you take Thomas Frank at Man United, let's say, if he was available and Ruben Amorim didn't go well?
I think you got to look at him. Absolutely. 100%. I think you got to look at him. He's turned a bang average team in Brentford. I mean, I accused them 3 seasons ago when they beat us 4-0 in one of the first games at Old Trafford. I accused them of a team of players running around like 8-year-olds, and I still stick by that. But he got a team of players and a group of players that actually wanted to play football for him and win football matches for him. And we haven't had that recently. We've just got a load of overpaid prima donnas who play football when they feel like it. And there's an issue. And Thomas Rank won't allow that to happen. Whether or not he would have issues walking through the doors at Old Trafford with the club being the size that it is, and that we've seen players with big statures fold at Manchester United in the past, then you would certainly look at him. But a lot of people love the way that Brentford play, but he's clearly a good manager. I was right, by the way, Vitek. He's on loan at Austria, an Austrian Bundesliga club.
Okay.
I think he's got about a year left on his contract.
I rate Vitek. I think he's a good
keeper.
goalkeeper.
Yeah, good keeper. Yeah,
good keeper. But he needs to put on some weight. He's a little bit
He was a little bit skinny, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him the last season, so maybe he's improved. But I think as a goalkeeper, you need to be strong. Standing in your own box, corner kicks and free kicks and all of them. Crosses coming in. I think you need to have some physical attributes to move people out of the way. But we talked about players getting released. There's one player who wasn't released, and that's Tom Heaton, our third goalkeeper.
He's on the release list, isn't he? But we're negotiating a new contract for him.
Oh, we have Manchester United officially confirmed contract offer to Tom Heaton.
Yeah, but they did put him on the release list. I think this morning. I think he's been moved now. Yeah.
But do you think it's a wise move to keep Tom Heaton because of his experience?
It's all about experience with Tom Heaton, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about Harry Maguire last night. You need experienced players in and around the dressing room. You need people, who've been there, kind of seen it, done it. Maguire has. But Maguire's mental strength can never be questioned. His attitude can never be questioned. And that's one of the reasons why I would love to see Maguire stay around. As for Heaton, he's got one of the best jobs in the world, hasn't he? He's going to be the next Scott Carson, who City have just released after about 8 years. I think he's one of the most decorated goalkeepers in Premier League history, isn't he, Scott Carson? Hardly ever played. But, I think it'd be ideal if Heaton signed another 12-month contract.
But there are in the history of Man United some goalkeepers who did well, but who weren't the first choice. We mentioned yesterday Lesili. He came in and played in because who was the Scottish goalkeeper we had in goal in the first FA Cup final before the replay?
Excuse me one moment, Jim Leighton, by the way. Excuse me one moment.
Jim
the old
Leighton.
phone is the old
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I will just remove this and do a couple of comments. I don't know if you remember Jim Leighton. They called him, Jim Leighton. Big up Stephanie helping me out. And Lesili, I think he did well, and we won the replay 1-0 after a goal by Lee Martin, wasn't it?
Lee Martin, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the iconic games.
Left foot, right for the net.
Yeah, he came. He did a deep run from the left, and
left foot
was inside the box when he took
it
the
was
shot.
inside the box, but it's roof of the net. I think Ian Wright popped up with 2, didn't he? That game came on a sub, scored twice in the first game, if I'm not mistaken.
But going back to Leighton couldn't cope with Man United pressure. Yeah, but he was Scotland number 1 international in his time. Yeah,
he played for Aberdeen under Fergie in the glory years.
Yeah.
And yes, Chris Turner, we got him from Sheffield Wednesday, I believe. But decent keeper, small, very small, but decent keeper. I didn't really rate Paddy Roach, Pete. To be honest, he was okay. I think he was he not fighting it out? I didn't really rate Paddy Roach, but it's just one of those for me.
There've been some goalkeepers around through the years. You remember the Italian guy who came in, Tadibi, or what's his name?
Oh, just Taibbi, yeah.
Taibbi was a disaster. He played a couple of games and conceded 10 goals or whatever,
Apparently Lee Gunner's going in on. I'll see you. I'm not surprised, Jamie. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Talking about players, you have this guy. Yes, your favorite striker of the year. I think we spent about 10,000 hours this winter talking about Højlund.
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many hours.
Too many hours. So my question to you guys and to Stu, the update is from the Center Devils, Gazzetta in Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy, coming in and saying Manchester United wants an initial loan deal plus an obligation to buy for around 45 million euros for Rasmus Højlund. He has expressed an openness to return to Serie A, and his agent has had meetings with Inter in the last few days. So there are things going on with Højlund in the background, and loan deal with an obligation to buy 45 million euros. Is that any good?
I think.
Are we so lucky that we can sell him for that price?
No, to be honest, I don't think he goes anywhere. I'm kind of with Jarl and my main on this. I think he stays. I don't think he'll go. I think it's, again, paper talk. I think if he could go out on loan maybe for 12 months, I think for his own development, it'd certainly be worth it. But ultimately, I think he probably stays, Jarvis, to be honest.
Yeah, but where is he going? Talking about being ruthless. When should Amrim just say to him, "You're not playing"?
Well, his problem is, Jarvis, is he shouldn't have been playing as the number 9 at Manchester United at 20, 21, 22 years old. It should never have happened. And the club have let him down big time. We really have let him down big time. And it could really have ruined his career. He's come out and apparently during the international break saying he wants to stay. I think when he comes back, when he comes into training, I think he's told that you'll play some games, probably 20 games this season, and you'll watch for a lot of games. He should be watching from the bench. There should be somebody out there that he can learn from, and there just hasn't been. So we've been right to criticise him, Jarvis. Very right to criticise him. His movement has been terrible. His willingness to running behind has been awful. But if you get somebody like Gyökeres that comes in, and he could teach Højlund the logistics of playing up front and the areas that you need to situate yourself in to get in front of goal, then we could end up having 2 really good strikers. You have to bear in mind that Manchester United, we're used to having 4 top quality strikers all the time. And I think on this occasion, I would keep him and let him learn. But I'm right. We've been right though, Jarvis, to criticise him. We have, honestly, we've been right to criticise him. Everything that we said is correct. We've not been over the top. We've been
absolutely evidence when we go through the case of Højlund. So there's no the jury is not out. He's found guilty. He's not good enough.
It's truth. We have said truth. But I think if he'd come in, if he'd come in an era when there was Andy Cole, Dwight York, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Rasmus Højlund, you'd be talking about a completely different footballer. But he's come in, hasn't he? Where it's just Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah. Craig Warby agrees with you. He says, "Do I agree? He's been let down, but never been good enough." And Danny B said, "I read he was terrible for Denmark the other night too." And the Danish press didn't go lightly on him, and they criticized him. They had a sub coming on for 30 seconds, and they were quoting that he did better for 30 seconds than Højlund did for the
Yeah, he's probably his
entirety of
confidence.
the game.
It's probably gone. His confidence is probably gone. It's just gone. So let's see. Let's see what happens.
Story comes in and say some things you can't teach, like instinct. And
well, Andy Cole will tell you, and I've been lucky enough to interview Andy Cole on 4 or 5 occasions, and he will always say, because I always ask him the same question, how do you always find yourself? He says, you can teach a striker up to 90% of how to play that position, but you can't teach them the final 10%. That's instinct. But you can teach him to get towards where you want him to be. He's then got to make that decision, split second, on where he thinks the ball's going to appear. And Cristiano Ronaldo was a great example of instinct. His finish last night.
But I just want to play the devil's advocate again when it comes to Højlund. Okay, don't hate on me because of this. I'm just trying to make a case for Højlund. Because the Højlund, it hasn't been all bad. Last season, over 2 seasons, he came in young. He's developing while he's playing games. Last season, he scored 10 goals in the Premier League and 5 goals in Champions League.
15 in all comps.
15 goals. Last season, and this season he have scored 6 in the Europa League and 4 in the Premier League, so 10 goals. So we are talking about 25 goals over 2 seasons in about, are we saying 80 games?
Something along those lines, I would say,
yeah. So it hasn't been all bad. He scored a couple of goals, and wouldn't you think that with their service, with players like Konya, like Mbumo, we could expect more goals? And he's getting 1 year older. He will develop. Maybe a reset in the summertime will, like, in a way, reset him as a player, and maybe it can come good when we go next season.
Yeah, look, I agree. I think there'll be a lot more creativity for him. I think.
Yeah.
I think you'll see Bruno let off the leash a bit more, because you'll have better players up with Konya and Mbumo who can hold the ball, carry the ball, defend better. And so I think you might just see something a little bit different. But we need a striker. We need someone like a Gyökeres to come in, take him out the team for a bit. We did say last year, Jarvis, last season, take him out for about 11 games, give him a rest, let him watch from the bench. But who is he going to watch? You got no one to watch. Nobody to watch. We all said a couple of years ago we should have had a Harry Kane type player alongside Højlund. We all said it. Every single one of us said it.
We said it, yeah.
Even in the Dervish Tacticos.
And we know Ten Hag wanted Harry Kane. That was his main target.
Yeah. And so, Lukaku, when he came to us, he'd had time in the Premier League. So he knew what it was like to play as a number 9. So you're quite right, Fred. We've got to feed him as well. So let's just. Jarvis is right to Jarvo. I like it. Yeah. But you're right to play devil's advocate. But everybody's right in the. Do you know what? Højlund is one of those phenomenons where there's no wrong answer. There is no wrong answer to him. Everybody is right in their opinion. Everybody, whether you like him or dislike him, whether you look at his stats, don't like his stats, is no wrong answer, because we've let him down as a club. He hasn't developed as a player. So, but whose fault is that? So, so there's no wrong answer with Højlund, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. 45 likes coming in from the Bootinator. If you haven't liked, please do. 218 people watching, 46 on Tactical Devils, and 171 on X. And we have 1 viewer on Twitch.
That's me.
Our Twitch account is not doing well.
I think that's me. I think our Twitch account is not grown, has it? I think that's probably me on Twitch or you on Twitch. one of us is on Twitch anyway, so we're legends of the Twitch sphere, whatever you call it. Me and Jarvis are absolute legends of that.
We are Twitch legends. Tyrone Williams coming in and saying,
Exactly,
I don't dislike
I agree.
Rasmus as a human being. I feel for him. Yeah, you know, I almost feel the same. I can't even hate on the guy anymore. He's kind of useless, and his confidence is gone. So it's hard
He needs
for
a
him.
holiday. He needs a holiday. Go away, come back, have 2 weeks off, then come back. Don't have 6 weeks off, have 2 weeks off, come back, get yourself fit, go on tour, bag yourself a few goals on tour, and then come back and see where it takes you.
Yes.
Craig's right here. If we had got Cavani when Højlund was around, Cavani and Højlund together, what a player to learn from. What a player to learn from.
Yeah. Cavani, he was. I don't know what happened with Cavani, but I think we made a mistake when we signed Ronaldo, and Cavani went on strike in a way, and
we made a mistake. Yeah. Cavani was brilliant for us. He was just. Cavani left you drooling. We didn't get him years ago.
He was ready for takeoff that season. He
came
in third, we came in second. All his third season, he was starting to get adjusted to the Premier League,
scoring goals, some brilliant goals. I loved Cavani. I absolutely loved Cavani.
Me too. His celebration,
his ability,
legendary.
His ability to sense danger in the box was just something else.
Yeah. And the worst thing when it comes to Cavani, I didn't rate him when he played for PSG.
No. I remember you saying
when he came to United, I really saw the player who was there, and he was so good.
He got it easy at PSG though, didn't he? Really, he was it Napoli before PSG? Have I got
Napoli,
that right? Yeah. He was just phenomenal, Cavani, for us. I wish we could have kept him another couple of years. I really do.
I have some updates that you will like. My good friend Stu Woolley, one of your favorite players.
I know what you're going to talk about, yes.
Yes.
I know exactly who you're going to talk about. I saw it yesterday, but elected not to say anything. I know who you're going to pull up.
Yeah.
I know who you're going to pull up. And it isn't Sander Berg.
I know and it isn't Sander Berg, but there is
there's a tenuous link. There's a tenuous link, isn't there?
He played for Fulham, and yes, let's just bring this up and read it and weep. But it's a weak source. It's the Mirror. Manchester United are reportedly considering a move to sign João Palhinha, who could be available for just £25 million. Yes, your player, your man. Palhinha.
It's a player, 25 million quid. It's a player you don't consider. You don't consider that player for 25 million. He's not had a great time at Bayern Munich. Injuries, lack of game time. He's not really fit. He's not found a home at Bayern. He hasn't found a home. He's not going to find a home back at Fulham because Sander Berge is by well and truly got his pipe and slippers placed. And we're not going to get Sander Berge. We know that. I would take Palhinha like that.
But what is his attribute you think he will bring to this team? Is it his radius, how much ground he can cover, how ruthless he is in duels, how he can stride, or you like to call it, drive with the ball?
You've just said it. He's ruthless in duels, his athleticism and his stride. And he carries the ball brilliantly. He'll get you up the pitch very, very quickly. So will Cunha, because Cunha will take it deep, by the way, Jarvis. I know people won't. I know Cass, when we were on the other day, didn't like Cunha anywhere near the 8, but he will take it deep. Cunha will. If you watch him at Wolves, he takes it deep and he strides. I think Palhinha would absolutely suit Manchester United to the ground under Amarin's system, and I believe, if I'm not incorrect, did Palhinha have something to do with? Was Palhinha? Where did Fulham get Palhinha from?
Sporting.
Sporting,
Played under
yes.
Amorim.
Yes, I
There's the
thought
link,
that.
there's
Yes,
the connection.
but it's not only that. You've got Palhinha, you get Bruno, and Bermo, Cunha, Gyökeres. Unbelievable, and you're not gonna get cut apart through the middle either.
No.
I would take Palhinha. We are cursed in signing players that are not good on the ball.
I have some updates. We have two.
Hey!
We have 2 viewers on Twitch. Inhalers, man, the legend coming in from Twitch.
Thank you.
We are legends on Twitch.
We
right
are
now.
we are Twitch legends. Have you, by the way, Inhalers, man? Thank you for that. But have you subscribed over on our YouTube channel? Please do that. There is, I mean, Emmanuel's quite right. He's not brilliant on the ball, is he, Palhinha? No. But he does the work. So I agree with you, Emmanuel. But he would be perfect for us. I'd take him tomorrow.
But isn't it like too much if you have both Ugarte and Palhinha in the same team?
Well, I'm sorry, I'd push Palhinha over Ugarte anyway.
Okay, you do.
Yeah.
2 years too late, according to Danny B. His legs are going.
Again, I've got no issue with that. I've got no problem with what these guys are saying. But great player for us.
And Craig Warby is asking how old is he? 30?
I think he's late 20s, isn't he? Yeah, 29. But before Palhinha, who did I want, Jarvis? Who was I babbling on about? Brozovic.
Yes, Brozovic.
We could have ever got Brozovic out of Inter. We should have signed Palhinha years ago. We should have signed Brozovic years ago. We'd have had no issues in the centre of the park. Totally agree, Stephanie. But if we could get him and he's recovered from his injury, because I think that's going to be the problem, Danny. He is a younger version. Yeah, you're absolutely right. If we can get him out of injury and we got 2 or 3 good years at Palhinha, I'd still take him over Ugarte. That's just my opinion.
People are saying his legs are gone. He's too old. They're not seeing it. Boxing Straight Talk coming in and say big up Jarvis Stu and the chat. Big up Boxing Straight Talk. Good to see you. But Palhinha still plays in Bayern, but did he play anything last season?
No. He was injured a lot. He's really struggled for game time. We would have to make sure he was fit, 100% fit. But I still think it'd make a difference for us. But
17 matches.
Yeah, but maybe Jarvis. I'm going back when he was playing for Fulham and he absolutely ransacked us at Old Trafford that day. He was just absolutely brilliant. But
yeah, but he's 29. He's 30 this July. So I think the resale value will be 0.
There'll be 0 resale value. Yeah. But I would still get him. There are players out there, Jarvis, that around the right players flourish. We didn't know just how good a player Rodri was. We knew he was good, but we didn't know how good, did we? Till he joined City. And then we realised he's indispensable for City.
Yeah.
And he hardly runs, by the way, Rodri, does he? He trots around. He hardly runs. So if we could get players in and around him, and Bumo, Cunha again, Bruno, we could be okay.
And Whistle comes in. This is a good point. More players breed more competition, fresh and hungry players.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think we'll go for Palhinha, by the way.
No, but when it comes to the friend of the channel, we all know him. Mick Ruby came in with this one today. I'm quoting Mick Ruby, and it's said, understand that Man United will attack the midfield situation after the striker signing. So when we sign a striker, we'll go for a midfielder. Top of the list is 29 years old João Palhinha, who is not getting minutes in Bayern Munich. Potential season loan will not be ruled out. So if we are talking about a loan, it would be doable.
Take it all day long, Jarvis. If you get a loan for that, take it all day long, and then switch in with Ugarte throughout the season.
Yeah.
But the lads are right. I mean, look, I've always said this. Stephanie's right. The lads are right. They all know the football. They get it. They understand the quality that Palhinha had 2 seasons ago. Has he got that? It's a great question. And they're entitled to bring it up. I agree with Everything they've said.
And Ben Over comes in and say Palhinha is
With
also
Ben,
a
call him
personal
Ben.
friend with Amorim. But it counts for something, if he
It does.
knows Amorim personally and
Yeah,
they
it does.
talk
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
Yeah. Hey, it's all happening on Twitch. It's all happening. We got 3 Twitches. Hey, we are Twitch legends now.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we are. Craig, come back to YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube. But thank you for the effort.
Does that mean Casemiro leaves? It probably reduces his game time, Steph. But you've still got, Casemiro, we all know, had a brilliant second half to the season, let's be clear. And so having Palhinha, Casemiro, and Agate would be fucking fantastic. But 2 doesn't go into 3, does it? So.
But Stu, do you think
it's all happening. Oh no, Insider Man's already there, isn't he? Inhaler's Man's already there, yeah. The Twitch guys, the Twitch gang.
The Twitch gang.
We've got Twitch
big
friends.
up to the Twitch gang. Stu, do you really think Amorim rates Casemiro? Because in my mind, I don't think he really rates him. I think he has to adjust his system when playing Casemiro, and is not the ideal midfielder for his style.
Good point. No, it's a great point. Actually, I think he utilised Casemiro to the best of Casemiro's ability, but he had to change his style to do that. So for me, I would imagine if you can get Palhinha, yeah, why not? If you can get him on a loan, you've got to. You have to consider it. You just have to, in my opinion. But again, the guys are spot on. Stephanie's spot on. The lads are spot on. It's good to question that type of signing. But here's the funny thing: 2-3 years ago, if we'd asked the same question and been presented with the same question, it would have been 100% yes in the right-hand column, I would imagine.
Yeah. My only worry is, Bayern are no mugs when it comes to selling players, and they know when it's time, and they will just push Palhinha out the door. And we signed so many Bayern rejects that we thought was going to be good. Schweinsteiger.
But we got it though. Don't forget the one Bayern reject that has been good.
Who?
Our good old mate, Mazzari.
Oh, yeah.
We got Mazzari. We have been. If you get somebody like Palhinha, it offers you options. And Amorim had no options. You've got to have quality options, haven't you? If it's Agate on the bench, you've got Palhinha on the pitch, vice versa. Great options. You take Agate off and put on Palhinha. Great options. Brilliant options for us. You take off Bruno and you put on Mainu. Great options.
Yeah.
You're taking Bernwell off. You put on. You probably will play, by the way, Ahmad. Great options. This is what we're getting at. So the guys know the value of Palhinha, but they're right to ask the questions. I told you, Schweinsteiger, Hargreaves, brilliant player. But hey, it's all kicking.
Ziggy 147 is all kicking off on Twitch.
I can't believe we're Twitches now, Jarvis. We're Twitch. Is it called Twitches? Yeah,
I don't know what it's called. It's all new for me.
But
coming in 50 likes, Stu.
Yes, come on.
Thank you. I appreciate all the help you give us. If you haven't I would really appreciate you to give us press that thumbs up. And I'm so grateful that 50 of you actually have done the work, because it's so important for us getting the algorithms going. We never know how YouTube works. I don't understand it. Stu doesn't understand it. I don't think anyone understands the YouTube algorithms, but sometimes, yesterday we had 5,000 views in total. And
that's us on Twitch. Wave to us on Twitch, Jarvis.
Hello, Jarvis and Stu on Twitch.
Twitches. for watching.
Yes, yes. Boxing Straight Talk coming in and say, Jarvis and Stu, I think we are absolute desperate for two quality wing backs, right and left. When Pep started the City Glory, he came in and purchased two fullbacks for
He did
100 million.
Yeah, Kyle Walker and
Caicedo, no,
no,
Portuguese guy.
Portuguese guy. Oh, yes. Went to Barcelona. Yes.
Something on C.
Him. Yeah. Begins with C. Yeah. Him.
Yes. We all know.
No, I know exactly who you mean. I called him a poser, didn't I? Cancelo. Poser.
Well, that's a good point. Those were the most important roles, and that was in a time where they used inverted wingers for fullbacks as midfielders.
Jarvis, that's what I said yesterday when you were talking about, and we had a really good conversation last night, by the way, about Martínez, not Emi Martínez, but Licha. And we were talking about we're desperate for him to come back, and I said we need to play him a couple of games, leave him out for 3 or 4 matches, for the first 6 to 8 months of when he comes back, so we can strengthen his knees up. But one of the interesting things, guys, a few weeks ago, I said I'd love to see Martínez as a wing back. Jarvis almost threw his tee up at a particular time and then hit me with, I'd like to see it 2 weeks ago, I'd like to see Mbeumo as a wing back, to which I then threw my tee in the air. But actually, as it happens, we looked at a couple of heat maps last night, and Jarvis explained to me the Mbeumo heat map, and I could see it. And he actually put the Licha heat map up, and I just happened to point out this. Licha would be a brilliant wing back for us. Not blessed with pace, but he operates the length of the pitch, and Jarvis's heat map would show you. So, what's really, really interesting about that is, again, options. So Jarvis was floating it, but actually there's options. There is an option for Mbeumo at some point, Jarvis, to play wing back.
Yes.
And you've demonstrated his heat map.
There are options if you want to go rogue.
Yes. You can't have that saying. I coined that phrase.
I know. I'm just quoting my best mate, when it comes to Man United talk.
Hold on. Let me get the lads out. Let me get that horse's head sorted, get it delivered.
You've all seen The Godfather.
Yes, that's right. Yes. No, but what you were talking about, actually,
Chicken.
Yeah, what you're talking about, actually, Jarvis, actually bore some fruit, but you actually showed some demonstrations as to how it could work, and that was the interesting thing for me.
Yeah.
Harry Maguire, left wing, right wing, definitely. Right wing up front, number 10 ghosting into the back stick. Legend. The legend.
You are stretching it.
I am, but I did say that for next season, Maguire needs to come out of the team, doesn't he? He needs to come out of the team, and we need to move away from Maguire for next season.
Yeah, that's. I think it's in due time now to move him out of the starting 11. But I think he's good enough to be in the squad.
He plays left in a back three, but he has played left back for Argentina.
But that's a 3-5-2 formation.
Yes, he has played left back as well when they resort to a 4, but not often.
No,
not often. Boxes straight talk is absolutely right. Boxes straight, you've got it on the button. Sir Harry, absolutely, the legend.
Stop calling him Sir.
Yes. I used to call. Liam Gallagher would say, "What's the big deal?" I used to call my teacher Sir, and they were massive. He tweeted that this morning, didn't he?
Be Cool is in the house. Big up. Be cool. Good to see you. And he agrees with you, Stu. Maguire is our best central centre back.
Brilliant player.
Genghis Khan comes in with the brilliant question. This is a question I haven't
You've
heard.
been rinsed.
There are some updates on this. United Reds comes in. Strong source transfers.com with Man United have expressed their interest in signing Chelsea striker Nicholas Jackson. And look at this guy. Look at
Look
him.
at that guy,
Look
legend.
at that guy. Yeah.
Look at him.
We definitely should go for it.
Yeah, he's steely-eyed, Jarvis. He's steely-eyed. Yes, Diego Leon is coming. He won't go straight into the first team squad by all accounts, but I think he'll be on tour for definite. So you'll see him on tour. And we've won the Asia Cup, so I'm sure we'll win the next incarnation of the Premier League Cup that we're in. Yes, boxing straight talk. Jackson sharpshooter. Brilliant.
What if we signed Nicholas Jackson now at the end of the transfer window?
Are you sure the heat map isn't predicted on having predicated on having too many Lambrianas the night before a game? Spreading the love all over the pitch. I like that one. That's a really good comment, that is.
But really it's a good question, that one on Diego Leon. He looks like a grown man. He's 17.
It's a big lad. Big lad. Wayne Rooney-esque, isn't he? In his
what I've seen from clips, there's not many clips from him, but he looks really good. But maybe it's too soon.
Yeah,
and he has to adapt to the league.
He won't go straight into the team. We won't see him till Christmas at the earliest.
No. Well, you never know when it comes to a youngster. Suddenly he's thrown on and he does well. So
even Catherine's nailing Michael Jackson in disguise. Catherine, keep them coming, girl. Keep them coming.
Big up, Catherine. This one before we go to the Q&A.
Yes.
Manchester United, if we sell Andre Onana, they will go all out. I would say all in, but all out for Emilio Martínez.
Yeah, why not?
What's your thoughts? Are we there? Should we go for him just for the experience, or
any day? Look, he's not going to be worse, is he? He can't be any worse than Onana, can he? I mean, crikey, I could do better than Onana, and I'm shite in goal. Absolutely woeful. But he's not going to be any worse. I think it'd be a great addition to us. I think we'll add that steel at the back. He'll add that shithousery, that we need. Yeah, he'll get sent off. Absolutely, of course he will. Of course he will. So will Cunha. And Boomer's likely to get sent off. But you need those players. You need the arrogance, the attitude. Sometimes you really do. But he's earned it. He's a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
He's earned the arrogance. He's earned the attitude. Cunha plays for Brazil. Of course he's earned his ego. Plays for Brazil, for Christ's sake. We'd all love to play for Brazil. And hardly any of us are Brazilian.
But he likes to be really high.
He does. He does.
Much
which is
higher
why
than
you could not have Maguire.
He's not hugging his line.
No.
He's hugging the 18-yard line.
Yeah,
and he likes to go outside his box. So it worries me a little bit. I have to say. We all remember Fabian Barthez when he came in.
Well, yeah, he was just a clown. That doesn't worry me too much because I think you'll have the recovery pace of Heaven. I think you'll have the recovery pace of Euro. So I'm not too worried about that. I think, look, even Harry Maguire would say, I'm not the quickest. I wouldn't want to play a high line. There's been a Cass raid.
Big up new viewers from Cass's channel. Big up for the Cass raid.
Yes, please.
Amadosa and who else is Priyanshi Kare. Oh, you can say the name. Nella, Danny Walshy.
Yeah.
A lot of legends coming in. Jason Anderson.
Yeah. Watson thinks. Brilliant. Yeah. Oh, there's
big up, guys. And we also have Cass coming in. Big up.
Big up.
Much love.
Does he know he's talking to a couple of Twitch legends now? I was just wondering, you know.
Yeah, we have just become legends on Twitch.
We got 4 viewers on Twitch.
You know how difficult it is to get views on Twitch?
I have no idea, but we feel worshipped to have viewers on Twitch.
Fair play.
Really. Yeah. We were just discussing the Martínez link, and you know this came out today. Let's see,
Gas and dolls.
Add 2 straight. Yeah, if Man United would sell Andre Onana, they would go all out for Martínez. So, do you rate him? We talked about it. I talked to you in the chat the other day. You know, I think he's over the hill. I think he's declining. Is he?
You know what? I'm in a place as a United fan at the moment, and I shouldn't lower my standards either. But when it comes to Onana, he's set the bar so low that I would take someone that's just remotely decent. Yeah. That's someone that's just a steady Eddie. And if Martínez could be more of a steady Eddie and a short gap, so we can bring in maybe a young goalkeeper as well, then I can get behind that. Because I feel like that's what INEOS would want to do. They go get some experience in him. And he was pretty much a bit of a bozo and a letdown for... Well, actually, he was the letdown in particular for why they didn't even get Champions League football, because they couldn't beat us. So, and he got sent off. So he has those moments in him. But in terms of just mentality, I don't knock his mentality. He's a bit of a weirdo. But if he becomes our weirdo, then I'll support that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't think it's not the worst option out there, but we're linked to quite a few young goalkeepers. So if you can go get number 2, that's someone that's young and put an investment for the future, then that's the right way to go about it. Because then you got the whole, here's some experience. Here's a young goalkeeper. One we're linked with is Lamins. I think you mentioned him, from Belgium. So I wonder if that's a long-term option for us. Maybe not this year, but maybe next season.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, he looks extremely good. You know, he's 22 years of age, but you know his save percentage, his penalty saves, claims crosses is in the 98%, 95 percentile, and 98 in compared to the top 5 leagues in Europe. So for me, he looks almost ready. You know, like a young Courtois or something. So.
I think it's a bit of a risk. It's a bit of a risk bringing a young goalkeeper in straight away and asking him to be Man United's new number 1 straight away. So I don't think INEOS would trust that, and I don't think I would trust that either. No,
I think you make a good point. But as you said, if you bring in Martínez and then a second, we had also been linked to the Leicester goalkeeper Hermansson. I don't know.
I like him from Leicester.
Yeah.
I think he's decent. I think he's underrated. He's a good pickup for everyone to get him. I'll take him at United as an understudy number 2. But after having taste of first in goalkeeping, I don't think he'd want to be a number 2.
Yeah.
No, he'd want to be. I'm with you, Cass. So look, I'd take Martínez all day long. I just like his attitude. His attitude's just great. Shithouser at its finest, and that's what I like. But we will need a keeper of the future as a number 2, absolutely. And I think that's what we've been lacking. We've been lacking that transition. When we sold our number 1, we've had to buy a number 1. We need a number 2 in there to transition. So I totally agree with that. Whoever that would be, I think that's great. Maybe Vitek coming back off his loan from, we don't know how well he's played, do we, in Austria? But maybe he comes back. He's got 1 year left on his contract. Maybe Onana could, Amarin could look at that. I don't know. Guys, 430 of you watching. Thanks to Cass and your raid, mate. Absolutely top draw. Thank you very much for that. We are also about 65-ish subscribers away from our goal, which is 1,000 subscribers. If any of you that have come in with Kaz's raid aren't subscribed to us and you would like to help us out tonight, and we reach 1,000 subscribers tonight, Jarvis will sing a Jackson 5 song just for you in the honor of the Nicholas Jackson link that Jarvis had the cheek to talk about in a show from a week ago. So if you can help us out, that would be...
Cass will help me out sing a Jackson 5 song. Won't you?
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting you demonetized when it happens. So imagine that. I'll ring the tune. So yeah,
you're demonetized and demonetized. Yeah. Anyone that could help us out would be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I've been wanting to ask you this question, Cass. It's because I made a prediction on yesterday's show because there came some news out on João Pedro. If you know, he was. This was the link. Understand João Pedro can leave Brighton this summer and is open for a new chapter of his career, around 70 million euros. So my prediction is I think we will be linked to this guy eventually in this summer transfer window. And would you take him as a number 10/number 9 type of forward?
nah, not for me.
You don't rate him?
No, it's not that I don't rate him. I thought he was Newcastle bound, to be fair. I thought they agreed personal terms with him allegedly as well. But for me, we've got too many players that are similar to that. I keep talking about profiles in United. I think that's probably the key word for pretty much the whole season. Have you not noticed? Profiles, the right profile. I haven't heard that word so much in one whole period. But for me, I don't really want another player that, well, one, he scores a few penalties, but when it comes to in front of goal, I wouldn't say he's crazy clinical. He has his moments, but he's very inconsistent. Now, we've got Xerxes already. We've got Acuna that can do pretty much what he does, but better. So for my liking, if you're going to have someone that's going to pretty much play, ideally as a number 9, I'd imagine, I wouldn't want that profile whatsoever. I think that's why we want probably Gyökeres so much, is because he's a different kind of profile of someone that we don't have. We got players that can drop deep. I mean, when we get Mbumo, I mean, he can run in behind, don't get me wrong, but that's probably not his preference. So that's why I want someone like Gyökeres in the side, because we just don't have that. So when you think of the bench, someone's going to come on for him. Let's say Gyökeres is on the bench all of a sudden because he's playing Xerxes for a certain game potentially, or he's been injured. I don't know. I don't want to hear João Pedro's come off the bench because that's how we're going to score a goal, isn't it? Not really. You want someone that's going to be in the box and firing a little bit more. I think we lack goals. And right now, Cunha screams goals, don't get me wrong, but how many is another question. And then Mbumo screams goals. But when you take them two out the side, who's getting our goals? Imagine them two are not playing. So imagine you take Mbumo out the side because he's going to AFCON for 4 weeks or 3 weeks, and then you just got Cunha. What if Cunha gets injured? You're back to your old back three that you've played literally last season. You're not getting no goals. United are in desperate need to go and get a striker.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, for me, I would take him. I think he has an X factor. I think he has some flair. He has Premier League experience. He plays for a good Brighton team. So, but 70 million euros, I think that's stretching it too far. But if you could negotiate the deal for 45, I think it would be within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think so. Yeah, maybe if the opportunity is there, but I think it'd be a waste. I think it's actually, I'll put it down to poor squad planning as well.
Yeah, but we talked about this. When it comes to squad planning, we will link to Palhinha, for example, now, and we already have Ugarte. But when you think of it, more competition breeds better competitive environment, and we want United to be that kind of club. Players fighting for the spot in the first starting 11.
I wouldn't be mad at Palhinha, but I'll take him on loan. That's it. That's in a desperate case scenario. But in my books, don't tell Bruno Fernandes we don't need the money just to end up loaning Palhinha. That's what I'd call absolutely a joke. That's an absolute joke.
Yeah, apparently we are in for Palhinha, but it's a seasonal loan. That's what I heard latest.
Who come out with that? Because I read the quote and it said Man United could consider, not will consider.
Well, I heard it from Mick Ruby that he told me, but I don't know if it's reliable or not. But that's what I'm saying. What I'm hearing. I'm not saying anything.
Mick Ruby as the source.
He has his sources within the agency, so I don't know.
Yeah,
so
cool, for sure.
We will see. We will see.
A bit like Frankie De Jong, right?
Oh, not the Frankie De Jong again. No, don't forget him.
Oh.
Who's he? Who's Frankie?
I have this one for you
Questions?
guys.
Q&A.
Before we go to the chat, I have this one, and I
Yes.
want the chat to contribute, because after Mbumo, Manchester United still want to sign a striker, a central midfielder, and a goalkeeper. So this is
Okay.
my question for you guys. I'll let you go first, too. Can you name 3 players you would like us to go for? Striker, midfielder, and goalkeeper. Within reason.
Look, I would go Gyökeres, for sure. I agree with Kaz. I agree with you, Jarvis. I agree with everybody. We need goals. Midfielder preference right now would be Sanderberg, and I think that is within reason. I think Sanderberg should fit us perfectly. And goalkeeper, yeah, Martínez would do me all day long. I'll be happy with those 3. I really would. I'd have no issues with those 3 at all.
Okay.
Realistic, right? It has to be
Yep.
realistic, obviously. So the top, my one would actually be. Look, I feel like we're gonna go and sign Emi Martinez. It's like United. It's like they're obsessed with getting him through the door. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna accept that. I'm not gonna accept Gyökeres at the moment. It's the midfield for me. I would go for Edison still, because nobody's trying to get him. So it's a prime opportunity. I would tempt him. I mean, look, you don't need that. I don't believe you need Champions League football to tempt someone away from Atalanta.
no,
Out of places. When it comes to wages, the size of a club, what your profile it can raise. My whole thing with United at the moment is I don't think we need the correct profile in terms of like a deep line 6, which I think we crave so much. So and we're not going to go win the league, but I feel like we need someone that's going to be a progressive 8 that can do that 6 role. That's why I say I'd rather build with the future 8 for now, which would be for me would be Edison. And if not Edison, I really like Hayden Hackney. I think I'll take a chance on him. And I also like Douglas Luiz still. I'm not writing him off whatsoever. I think he's a wicked player.
I think he's gettable, isn't he, Luiz? He's gettable at Juventus.
Yeah, all 3 of them are available. Because I do believe next season, Adam Walton will be the one that takes over the reins of Bruno Fernandes's role. I think once we end up getting European football or something along them lines, hopefully, then Walton will be the number 1 target for the summer. I think it's quite.
What do you think is out of reach when it comes to this season?
Right now, I think it's already been ruled out that it's just not happening. It's too expensive. It's just not happening. So then, if going into next season, all of a sudden, I've got Walton coming in the door, and I've already got Edison. I've got the perfect pivot. And even if the manager was to fail, and you go back to a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 or whatever you want, I mean, he can still play with them no matter what. So I'd rather build for that rather than getting someone else. If we go get a 6, like let's say a Palhinha now, we go buy Palhinha. It's like, okay, but why would you go get Walton and then also have Palhinha in the same role? Because that means you're gonna have to probably go buy 2 midfielders because you don't want to play it. That's too defensive.
Yeah, they will lose the balance of the team. But what about a player like Amadou Onana? We've been linked to him now with the swap deal.
No. I know people are going to say profile. Don't be a hypocrite, but I look at I look at teams like PSG, and they have Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz. I see Pedri's with Gavi's. Onana is not going to be a part of a Champions League winning midfield. I'm sorry, he's going to be a squad player in the end. I don't really want to buy a squad player. He's good for his height and everything, but he's not title. For me, it's not a title winning type midfielder as a starting 11. So I'm not going to gas up someone just because they're athletic and they're strong and have got some sort of decent recovery. I mean, right now, if filling a huge gap that we do lack, though, next to Bruno, it makes sense, to be fair. He lacks everything Bruno lacks, he can cover.
Yeah.
And I still and I'm still stand by it. I don't think Onana is anywhere near a 6. For me, he's an 8.
But that's the catch, isn't it, Cass? We still have Bruno in the pivot.
I know. That's the issue.
There's no way around to get a balanced midfield with the Bruno in it, in a way, especially when it comes to defensive work.
I just don't like as a footballer, I'm not a big fan of Onana at all. Not when there's Edison. I'd rather build for the future, not build for someone that's going to be there for 2 minutes like a Garte and end up on the bench.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Would you take him?
I think we need that profile. You know, I mean, looking like Baleba would be the perfect one, and Amadou Onana, Johnny Cardoso is one of them. Caicedo, Wharton. You know, well, they are out of reach right now. And I would maybe go for Andre, the Wolves midfielder. I think he's brilliant on the ball. But as
He's
you mentioned the other
brilliant,
day, he gasses out a little bit.
He
after
does
60
gas out,
minutes.
yeah. Good
Yeah.
player, but he does gas out, yeah. Although Wolves are getting decimated anyway, aren't they? So you're not going to get anyone else out of Wolves at the
They're
minute.
probably going to get relegated.
Yeah, they lost like Nori, haven't they, today? He's signed for City today. Cunha's gone. You know, the two of their best players are gone. So it's not going to happen, is it, that, unfortunately?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of comments coming in about
Loads.
suggestions.
Yeah.
I keep always getting told about Lamine Camara. Watch out for him tomorrow against England. He plays for, is it Monaco that you lot said? Lamine Camara, he's quite small. He's 5'8".
He's
don't get me
Monaco.
wrong.
Yeah, he's Monaco,
But
yeah.
in first phase and everything, he does look wicked.
Is he a Kante type of player?
Kind, not really. Yes and no. I'd say he's more of a 6. I'd say Kante's more of an 8. But I think he can.
More
Kamara looks like he can get about the pitch a lot. If you go look at his, if people love stats, you go on FB Ref and see his stats. You look at it thinking, oh my word, it's greens everywhere, everywhere, and you're like, "Wow, this guy must be quite good, surely."
Pull him up, Jarvis.
Is that the guy you talked about the other day on your show?
Yeah, I've never noticed him or watched him. I haven't watched enough of Monaco. So I wouldn't really know. So and I kept getting told by a guy called Khabib in my chat and a couple others, and I'm like, okay, let me just look at him on a statistical point of FB Ref, and I thought, okay, I'm like, wow. Watched a couple compilations. I was thinking, okay, this guy looks like he's quite similar to Sekou Kone.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he's small. He's 6,
I know.
5'8" and only 143 pounds. So
I'm not too, that's why I said next to Bruno, it makes no sense in terms of height. But but the thing is, if you're building for the future, I mean, I'm sure you can get around that. I'm sure you can get around that. Maybe.
How old is he? Let's have a look.
21.
21.
Yeah. 2 goals, 7 assists in 29 games.
I mean, Vitinha, João Neves and Vitinha both
Vitinha
very small. I don't think they give a crap.
Yeah, tiny Vitinha is.
Yeah,
he wants to get rid of his hair.
You probably want to go on all of his stats there.
Yeah.
Well, he's in the 57th percentile when it comes to aerial one, so he's not.
If you scroll up, you'll go to complete scouting report.
Yeah. Well, let's go have a look. You want to look at his passing, mid-range, long range passing. So first of all, goals. Let's just skip the goals and look at his passing stats. Passes completed, 82 percentile. Progressive passes, he likes to progress. Total passing distance, short passes, 68 percentile. Medium, 84.
That's the one I'm looking
92.
at. Is the long and medium is the one I was looking for. I was like, oh wow, so that's a first phaser that can likes to play the ball quite well, fizz it into probably the attacking midfielder rather than giving it the short to someone, let's say the centre back and going backwards.
Yeah, he scores quite high. You have 5.86 per 90. That's quite good, and attempts almost 10 each game. So he's not hand grenading, but he has a lot of attempts when you look at it. But yeah,
but there's a hell of a room for it to improve, isn't there? If you can get somebody who can mold into that position, but is already 50-60% of the way, then pushing them along that extra 40% wouldn't be too difficult. So yeah, be worth having a look at.
Passing types is what I like as well.
Live passes.
He's a bit of a specialist when it comes to corners.
Crosses, 92.
Don't mind it. Yeah, from deep.
Yeah,
from deep.
Which again, we need deep crossing, which we haven't had.
Yeah, which is annoying to be fair.
Yeah, we needed a deep crossing for a while.
But have you been linked to this guy? Is there any report?
The thing is we haven't. That's my thing. Is like I get said names, but I'm like we're not actually linked with anyone bar Edison. And the other one I really want, and you know who I'm going to say, who my top choice is that I forgot to even say, Manu Kone. I know you're going to talk about his discipline, but if you're talking about room to grow and someone that's cheap,
what's his price?
Was he 6'1", 6 foot? He's about 15 million from Mönchengladbach. He went on loan. He's got like 1 year left on his contract or something. Yeah. I don't want Gasparini thinking, oh, that's my Edison. I'm thinking like, no, please go pick him up. I'm begging you.
We have a couple of new members. Witterbird coming in as new member. Thank you, Witterbird, for joining the Tactical Devils team. And we have Smoke coming in as a new member. Thank you, guys, and girls, for subscribing and becoming a member of the Devilish Tacticals community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Is there any other players you would like us to sign that we haven't been linked to? I saw the other day what's the German striker? What's his name?
Tomato.
No. Give me 2 seconds. I will find him. I only have Lamina Camara here. I don't know why. I think it's because we do.
You just put him on.
Yeah, we have Mika Biret, the Monaco striker. I think he's quite good, but
that guy. I don't have too much knowledge about him at all.
Yeah, no, it's Burkhardt, Mainz, the Mainz striker. I saw a compilation of him the other day. Looks like a really intelligent striker. He likes to be a fox in the box, and his movement is quite good. So I think he's the guy maybe we should go for if you're not going for Gyökeres. I think he's 18 goals in Bundesliga this season, and I think he's done well. He's been just taken up on the German national team now this June. So Burkhardt,
can you risk it though? You know the risk that you've got. We're taking maybe somebody out of a Jarrod Bowen type player or a Gyökeres type player is the Højlund conundrum. And this is the issue that we have. As good as they are in the Bundesliga, they could be as poor as Højlund has been in the Premier League. Now, I'm not saying Gyökeres is the answer, by the way. I'm not. But I'm just saying, can we take that risk? Can Amorim take that risk of getting a player he doesn't know, rather than a player that he does know and he understands? He knows his mentality, he knows his movements, he knows his work rate, as opposed to somebody who doesn't. That would be my only question.
And Spurs is out of the picture when it comes to Mbumo, and the latest is on Gyökeres raising the price. I don't know, Cass, I didn't get your comment on that. Sporting wants in about 80 million now. Suddenly, so the gentleman agreement is off.
It's only about 5 million difference. 80 million, 65 million pounds. So it's like, okay, well, doesn't bother me, to be fair. I'd pay out the money anyways. But that's from Record Portugal. All of a sudden, now they want more money. I'm like, okay. Record Portugal said advanced negotiation with Arsenal. I'm like, oh, that don't look like it's happened. So I don't have any reason to believe them. I mean, I wouldn't take Sporting's I don't know, CEO or whatever owner to be an absolute dickhead at the moment.
Exactly. Yeah,
not like Napoli's one. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not really fussed about it, because if you sell Garnacho, you still have leeway. So again, doesn't really matter.
No, I totally agree. And don't forget, we got Tier 1 journalist Jarvis Cocker already out there with the Nicholas Jackson transfer. That's got more legs.
Wait, Nicholas Jackson?
What, the man himself at the top? He called it. Called it 2 days ago.
What? Nicholas Jackson?
No, it's a bullshit source.
The bullshit source. It was hilarious.
Wait, hold on.
It nearly brought the internet down, didn't it, Jarvis?
Gyökeres took. Are you sure?
No, we're only kidding. Jarvis was just he was sent it, so we pulled it up.
I see that. I see Gyökeres has taken Sporting out of his whole thing.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. It's gone.
Well, you wouldn't do that unless you're making a move somewhere.
Yeah, no.
He's forcing the move. He's forcing the move. He wants to join Man United. That's the main line.
I've got my content for tomorrow wrapped up already.
Yes. Get Jarvis on the show.
I did not know that. Oh my word. 1 p.m., 1:15.
Yes.
Gyökeres is desperate to join Man United. That's the new. That's the line. That's the line.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, but do you think? Let's talk about it. Do you think he's forcing the move now?
I think desperate? So. I think so. He's at an age where he wants to probably prove himself somewhere else.
Yeah,
and I do, and I still stand by what I said. Like I feel like for me, I think he's only coming to us because he's got no choice. And it's not necessarily a bad thing for us because it's opportunities. The whole market is about opportunity. And if you find yourself an opportunity, you go and take that opportunity. But as a fan perspective, it's like, okay, but you're taking us because you're pretty much our last choice. Your last choice, sorry. So
it's exactly what I said.
It's not exactly great, but I'm sorry, but the market changes every day.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You got to take
if there's a chance to take £1 million, but someone offered someone else and they didn't take that chance, are you going to still say no to that? I mean, you're not, are you? You're gonna be like, yeah, damn right, let's go. But I say this as well. I feel like you got to credit INEOS and maybe Amram to an extent, but you got to credit, like, I don't hear anyone talking rubbish except flipping, you know who, about these owners and everything every day. You know, somehow we find ourselves in profit. Oh, don't hear nothing about that. You know, no squirms. You know, all of a sudden we've got 2 players that we've been told, Man United will struggle to sign top stars this window, and ends up going to get 2 and not even overpaying for them either, by the way.
Exactly.
Wages nor their price. It's what they're worth, you know. And then you look at it and you're like, how have we gone for? I was saying it on the last part of my stream just now. Tell me another club, and if you're a rival watching this, I'm going to say again so you can answer again. What club finishes 15th and can do what we do?
What did you do? I mean, this is it. You know,
this club is just gargantuan, isn't it? It's just
we are the second most valuable club in the world. You know, in the world, and we've had a shocking season. So yeah, but look, I took my lad to play for a kickabout at Old Trafford. I was telling Jarvis about it last week, and the amount of people that were just coming in and out, a constant train of people out the club shop. A lot of senior men in full kits with their, players' names on the back, things of that nature. There's a hell of a lot going on at Old Trafford, and we are just a license to print money. So it's really, really good.
Well, if we do get Gyökeres, I'm making sure I'm going to get him on our. I want Cunha on the back of the black kit. I want Gyökeres on the back of the red kit, and I want Mbumo off that. We've got like this white, purplish.
We've got white purplish kit coming.
And I want Mbumo off that. They're getting hung up straight away.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing them, but I'm going to hang them up, twist them around. This is what we got. Because there's no way I'm not trying to rub those front three in people's faces.
It's going to be frightening. Absolutely frightening. Jarvis is going to have his shirt with Jackson on the back, aren't you, Jarvis? And it's going to be hanging it behind you.
you know the maddest thing is you know what I'm going to say that free when it comes to Europe, especially Europe, and I would like to say cup competitions, but Europe in general, that front three is going to be deadly because what always wins in Europe? Transition football.
It does.
Particularly, it's slower and there's a lot of transitional moments.
Yeah,
and that front three is like that just screams transition and goals. You know, we see. I mean. Especially if it's in Europa League.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but I mean, if Hoyle looks remotely okay with what he had next to him as well, you think, okay, yeah, cool, sure, we blitz through this.
No,
the thing is, we are hearing now that everybody talk about Gyökeres, and it's almost like it's a done deal. So my question to you, Cass and Stu, is: we heard Andy Mitten coming out an hour ago. Saying he talked to senior personnel at Man United and no one mentioned Gyökeres' name.
I don't believe that. He's a mouthpiece for United. He's going to downplay it. And that's not me trying to say this is my coping mechanism to deny what he says, but he is literally the spokesperson for Manchester United. He will downplay that United want Gyökeres at the moment, considering every bit of attention should be on Mbumo. Because am I not meant to believe all these other journalists that are much more credible than an Andy Mitten? Since when has Andy Mitten ever been there to the front of the news about transfers ever?
He's never.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my That's my little two
So you
pence.
think it's almost the opposite? He's just downplaying it, and that's a
Yeah,
good sign.
It's a good thing.
It's Italian poker.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, going on TalkSport about our stations as well, it screams, what kind of clickbait can I get out of this? What's going to sell?
He knows nothing. Andy Metney knows nothing. News of a really interesting nature. We're about, I think, 5 subs off 1,000. Is that right, Jarvis? 5, 7.
Could be. Let's celebrate when it happens.
Let me double check. If I've got any minions in it, no, it's 953 or 47 away.
That's all we need. All we need.
We got, what's it called, Face? What's his name? I've been raiding him recently. Touchline. We got him to 1,000 yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so hopefully you lot can do the same. How many people are actually in here? I'm pretty sure a good 300 or something people came over.
270.
Yeah.
So I like to think out of the 274 that's there, you lot have not subscribed. What kind of wankers are you in here that are not subscribing so this channel can get monetized and earn a nice penny? Or quid?
Please. Come on,
people. We did it for Touchline in 1 week. I'm pretty sure all of you now that haven't done so, you got burner accounts.
Let's get on there. Get subscribe for us. Get subscribed. Right, we better do the Q&A, Jarvis.
Let's do the Q&A. I will play the intro as usual, and we can do a couple of questions. And for the new people arriving, haven't seen it before, start with the question Q and ask us anything when it comes to football, preferably. So let's just play the intro, and we will be back in a couple of seconds.
Guys, welcome to the Q&A. It is tantalizing. Jarvis is going to tell you the latest updates. We are a measly 3 away. If you haven't done it, 3 subscribers would be absolutely amazing. That's all. I've just done a quick refresh. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're on 957. Oh, sorry.
959. So we are 41 away.
40, yeah, I've just refreshed it. I wasn't looking. But 41 away. Come on. There's loads of you in there. Let's go, guys. Right, Q&A time. We've got about 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A because I've got to go and pick up Tiddler. Believe it or not, that's what my phone call was about. So we've got about 10 or 15 minutes. If I have to leave, then I'll leave you in the capable hands of Cass and Jarvis. Big thanks to Cass, by the way, for coming on and joining us again. Massive shout out and big up to Cass and all of his subscribers that have come across in the raid as well. We can't thank you enough for that. It really helps our algorithm and helps myself and Jarvis. Jarvis in particular, because he does more work than me on this channel. So a big shout out to my old mate. A really big shout out to my old mate. Anyway, let's get into it with the Q&A. So, Jarvis, first question to you is, what do you think of Langas from Norway's? Is a championship defender or Norway's championship a defender? This is from Solomon Jones.
I have to say, Solomon, I don't know who he is. I can't say I follow Norwegian football that closely, but Langås, I have to double check. So sorry, I can't give you a good answer on that one.
Cass, have you heard about him? I haven't.
I feel like Solomon Jones is trying to pull one over us to make us believe that there's a player called that and try to catch us out. That's what I believe. Yeah, does this person actually exist?
Solomon, if you can tell us anything about him, pal, please do, because we would.
Apparently plays for Viking, the old club of Erik Thorstvedt, the Spurs legend.
Oh, the old Spurs goalkeeper. Yeah.
And Erik Nevland.
Erik Nevland.
Yeah,
ex-Manchester United player. 110 likes. I believe we're on 963 subscribers, Jarvis. I haven't done a refresh. 963. Keep going, guys. Keep going, please. One for you, actually, Cass, because I know you're a Hackney fan in particularly. So you could, I know it's got Jarvis's name on it, but just forget Jarvis's name at the moment. Jashari or Hackney, Cass? What would you?
Oh, you're talking about Jashari, the one from Club Brugge. Oh, that's difficult. The Swiss footballer, he's very good. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that one plays for Club Brugge right now, you'd probably have to tend to say probably Jashari's on the way. But when it does come to English football, I'm sorry, but I've been following Hackney only for the last 4 months now. I'm taking Hackney. I'm sorry. I think he can be molded into something special. I think United should be all over him. If there's an opportunity to go get him now and then loan him back for a season, I'd do it.
Yeah,
I'd do it. Hayden Hackney, I think he's more of an 8 than a 6 for me. He likes to drive forward, doesn't he? I think he's more of a box to box, which I think we could do. With.
Yashari is the complete mid. He can play deep line, box to box. So
he's wicked, but I don't. I'm not too sure for him yet. I'm just going to be English. I'm going to be English bias at the moment.
No, nothing wrong in nothing wrong in that cast. That's superb. That is. We'll look at Jashari's stats. Giles might pull them up later in the show, or maybe we could be doing a show Thursday night. We may look at Jashari in a bit more detail Thursday night for you. But thanks for that, Danny B. So there's obviously a lot of interest in him with the devilish tacticos. Jarvis, do you think the English players get more leeway than the foreigners? Martial was made a villain because of his injuries, but sure, he's always accepted back. I'm not so sure that Shaw's always accepted back, really. Interesting question, Jarvis. Interesting question. I don't know.
Yeah, as an outsider, I don't live in Britain, so for me, I think so. It feels like it, but I don't know. Maybe it's a British media. I'm a little bit biased towards the British players, but I don't think we can make a big case out of it. It's just my gut feeling when it comes to this. But I also think the pressure is higher on the British players. They have to perform, and they get more scrutiny also in a way. So it goes, the hype and the downfall is as big. I remember players like Gaza in the years, and other players that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's not straightforward. Every British player gets better working conditions in my mind.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you on that one. Good question, though. Actually, really good question. Very quick one for the panel. Start with you, Cass. Steph would like to know what league position is worst case scenario next season.
Anything below 4th.
Yeah, Jarvis.
Anything below 10th. I'm not. Well. At the current state, let's say if we sign Gyökeres and Mbumo and that's it, I think we will still struggle because we still have Onana, we still have Dalot, we still have Maguire, a lot of calamity players. So I can't see us competing for top 4 or
if we got a centre mid and a goalkeeper, where do you put that then?
Yeah, now we're talking top 6. But I think top 4 is cemented right now. Arsenal, Liverpool, City, and Chelsea, I believe.
I think 8th. I think below 8th. I think we've got to make major strides, personally.
That's not acceptable. For me, that's not acceptable.
Yeah, no, it's right. I think where we are right now, we've got to go 8th for me. Anything below 8th is bad for me. But I can see where you're coming from on that, Cass. Absolutely. Depends who we get. If we get Gyökeres, we may change or change our opinion. We get a good midfielder in, we might all change our opinion. But that's where I'm at. Ben David comes in and says, "Oh, it's a football channel." Oh, wait, it's a football channel. Nice. Question for the panel from Ben. When is Lana Rose?
Wait, let's go to the next one.
Wait, why are you laughing, Stu? How do you know who that is?
I haven't got a clue.
Everybody knows.
It
Oh,
looks
you
like,
lot, you dirty old men.
it looks like it's a stiff.
You
Anyway, quickly moving on as I'm
So
going red.
you should know I'm not married.
Right. Bez.
Yes. Prashanth, if I've butchered your name, I'm sorry.
Oh, I got this wrong. I didn't know he actually made a permanent transfer to Roma. I was under the illusion that he went to Roma on a loan, but he actually went for 15 million. But if they bought him for 15, I mean, if he's available for, it says his market value is 35 million euros, but if he's worth 35 million pounds, I'm still taking him. Roma could always do with the money, make double.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. He's asked that question about 19 times, so we'll skip past that one. Where do you guys see Angelo still?
Yeah, but for me, I think he's a brilliant midfielder. I believe he's more of a box-to-box midfielder. He's tenacious. He likes to work hard. He's good on the ball, and he's not a prima donna type of player. I think he works hard. So if we ever miss a play like Roy Keane or someone hardworking, I think he would be a perfect player. And he's also really good on the ball, So
Yeah.
I think he's actually off the ball. He's absolutely crap.
You think? Well, maybe I haven't seen enough.
No, I mean, I think I know. Like, for me, I'm actually quite confident. I think off the ball is where he lacks. A bit like Tony Kroos. You know what it's for me? I don't care what he's like off the ball. I think he's that much of a playmaker. I think he can be the box to box. He's the one you have to build around. That's what's me. I'm not saying he's rubbish at all, because I feel like different systems are different. Like when it comes to Germany, you can have that risk where you don't need to get stuck in as much, because it's just, what is your role? Stick to your role. In the Premier League, you might have to adapt a little bit to different situations. What doesn't make sense for me, he reminds me of a 4-3-3 midfielder, not 4-2, not like a what we want. He's a hard worker, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't pass up the opportunity. If he's available, I would not pass the opportunity up. But him next to Bruno Fernandes is exactly what we don't want.
Yeah.
He's one again. It's like, if Bruno left, I'll be looking at him thinking, if it's not Wharton, it has to be this guy. It has to be this guy. When it comes to passing, I'm going to say it right now. Top 3 best passes in the world football right now.
I just want to chip in players similar to Angelo Stiller, according to FB refs, is Joshua Kimmich, Luka Modric, Alex Garcia, Pedri, so Yuri Tillemans. So yeah, you're right, Cass. You're right. I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. I think he's just
great player.
I could just see him at Real Madrid. He just reminds me that's Real Madrid. If we can get him, like I said, but you have to get him with somebody else. Him and Bruno does not make any sense.
No.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. Couple of questions left, guys. And there is only literally a couple of questions left. So I'll just take this one quickly because it is to me. Lewis, what are your thoughts on Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS as a whole at Manchester United? Do you think we will succeed under them? Difficult question. They've had a really, really tough 12 months. You could argue that what they're doing in terms of the structure of the business will reap benefits financially. Can we succeed under them footballing wise? I think we'll know at the end of the season. I don't think we'll know at Christmas. I think we'll know at the end of the season. But a difficult one to answer that one, Lewis. Cass, what's your thoughts on that one briefly?
It's too difficult to say at the moment. It depends what you measure as success.
Yeah.
You talk about the Premier League and that. I mean, we'll see how this summer goes first.
Yes, that's how I think. I'm with you on that.
I always said it's not this summer, it's the next summer that I'm looking at and thinking, okay, this is the team that you built. Now let's see what you can do with it. And let's see what managers there as well. So yeah, it's a bit difficult.
Yeah, I think it's Jarvis.
I think we will succeed. Yeah, it's difficult, but I feel the main issue is the Glazers, and because I think it stops them to put in their own money, INEOS. So I think when the time aspects of it all, I think it will take a little bit longer than we hope for, and it's more of a 7 to 10 year project than a 3 to 5 year project with INEOS, and that's my biggest disappointment when it comes to the owners. at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Lewis, if you're still watching, I hope that answered your question. Jamie would like to know who's Lana Rhodes. Me and Jarvis have no idea. We haven't got a clue. We've never heard of her, him, he, she, sure, her. Never heard of her. Maybe look her up. Yes, maybe look her up. No for me. Absolute no.
Never had a dating app in my life, so no.
Look at Jarvis. Look at that face. He doesn't need a dating app.
No.
No, just Cass. Look at him.
No, I'm going to be honest. I'm quite against dating apps. I mean, it's very easy to draw women from them. Talking from personal experience, but it's like no one wants to talk face to face no more because of dating apps. It's like where's the interaction gone? It's all vanished. They'd rather go and talk to someone. They'd rather give their phone numbers out to someone over an app rather than someone face to face in that interaction. Oh, do I know you? What do you mean, do I know you? I'm trying to get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
You probably think you're trying to rob them or something. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. They're a big no from us, I'm afraid. V, interesting question. Not quite sure you asked it, but there you go. We do say ask us anything on this channel. Subs count at the moment, Jarvis, 967, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, 967.
We are close. A couple of questions left. Dazza wants to know, Real Madrid's midfield room is crowded. Who would you take from them? Camavinga, maybe?
Valverde. Heartbeat.
Valverde. Oh, yeah, Valverde. I forgot they still got him, actually. I completely forgot that.
In a heartbeat. He's perfect.
What about Tchouaméni?
No, not Tchouaméni. Camavinga over Tchouaméni for me, but I completely forgot.
Do you mean realistically? If you're talking about realistically, I think the only one available from there is actually Tchouaméni, and even then, I think he's heavily overrated. I'm not his biggest fan. Struggled yesterday against what's it called? Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday against not really a great German side.
No. Yeah, I forgot about Valverde. Yeah. He doesn't get the plaudits, does he? Yeah, I'd forgotten about Valverde. Completely forgot. What you said about Tony Kroos was absolutely spot on. It goes completely unnoticed. Absolutely brilliant with the ball, but goes missing when he hasn't got it. Absolutely brilliant with the ball. Great player, the Corona. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, we would need him to do something better.
Well, we linked to Ardan Güler a couple of times. Is he a potential signing?
Don't think so.
On the boy?
No.
Okay.
Couple of questions left. Choppy says, "Do you think Manchester United are living on past glories?" Well, look, you got to talk to and speak to the individual to answer that, not the collective, because everybody sees everything completely different when it comes to Manchester United. Jarvis will tell you, if you ask Jarvis about my opinion, I've never lived on glories at Manchester United because I've lived through complete dross for a long time. But Kaz was honest on here a couple of months ago, when he said that he's lived through the glories and everything he's seen has been victory, and it's difficult for him to swallow. So it's a tricky one. So I don't know, guys. What do you think? To me, it's the individual.
That's all we got left.
No bit of collective, it's the individual. Good question. I like it. I like the question. Box Straight Talks come in with, how many assists does Diogo get next season?
You know what? To be fair, towards the end of the season, he was actually putting in quite some good crosses, just no one converted them.
Yeah.
He should be able to, from a wing-back position, you'd expect minimum for next season, at least 5 minimum, surely. Maybe a little bit more, to be fair. In the Premier League, in all competitions, well, when you say that, if we were far in cups, in all competitions, you should be probably faring at least 7 or 8, surely. With what he has in front of him, or will have in front of him, shall I say.
I'd like to see double figures. Yeah, I think you're not too far off, Kaz. I'd like to see double figures.
His shooting is awful, though. He can't strike a ball for absolutely anything. Easy.
It's not the best. Jarvis, what do you reckon?
Yeah, but do you think GA is his best attribute? I don't see him. I see him as a hard worker, up and down. I think he contributes, but he's raw. He's really raw, and his decision making needs to improve. I don't want him to be first choice next season. I want him to be an understudy to a better right wing back. In my mind, I think he needs to play on the right, he's a kind of way want to link up type of player. He likes players around, and I think playing on the right will suit him better.
If you say that,
than
then would you
drifting.
say link up? Couldn't sounds perfect for him then, no?
Yes, but he needs to learn. We will see more of his. Yeah, so that's my take on it. But maybe five assists next season.
Yeah, we need another left wing back. We literally, I said we're like another injury away from having. So, what about Diego Leon? I'm like, what about him?
He won't play yet.
I don't know. He's going into the academy. He's not going straight into the first team. We need to go. I don't like Estupinan as the option, by the way. I really don't.
No. Gyökeres is the one for me, but obviously he's going to go to the bin dippers, isn't he? But he would be the one for me by far.
Yeah.
Or
Robinson.
Or Robinson.
Yeah. I said that name as well. Now that Nori's out of the question, Robinson's. He's English. Well, he's part English or whatever.
American, yeah, but I think there's some English there.
No, he's born in Milton Keynes.
Yeah, he plays for America though, doesn't he?
Yeah. So he's like he hits the home court. He's homegrown. Makes sense.
He is, but he'd be a great player for us. We've been speaking about him for a while, haven't we, Jarvis Robinson?
A while. Yeah, we did. Yeah. We rate him on this channel.
Yeah, definitely. A couple of questions to go. Be Cool comes in. Manchester United needs a player that's strong off the ball. Is good under pressure and good at short and quick passing. Who do you think fits that profile? Jarvis.
Yeah, we can go for. I think Adam Wharton would probably be the main choice if we can't sign Rodri or Frankie de Jong. But I mentioned Andre. I see a player in him, the Wolves midfielder. But I don't know if Hayden Hackney can do that job.
I think he's wicked. His forward passing and the way, him next to Wharton sounds like a great pivot.
Yeah, I think it'd be decent Hackney as well. For me, I'd have Sander Bergen.
Yeah, how much they're going to want for him though? That's the biggest question. They're going to want double for what they paid.
Yeah, they're going to want double. He's a 50, 55, and then they can have Palhinha back, and we can get Bergen. Who'd be the one for that?
It sounds like good business.
It wouldn't be great for us.
Amazing business. It sounds like amazing business.
It just wouldn't. It just won't happen, will it? Nothing like that happens. But be cool. I hope that answers your question. Final question for our mates.
By the way, Stu, I just want to add Morten Hjulman, the Sporting midfielder. We haven't mentioned him.
Yes, I think mentioned him a lot. You've mentioned him a lot, haven't you?
It's worth a mention at least.
Yeah. Final question from Mr. Dover, we'll call him. Midfield picks for next season. Cass.
This season, which season are we talking about exactly?
This season coming.
This season coming, midfield picks for the season.
Next season, yeah.
Again, we kind of just spoke about it, really, isn't it? So it's kind of the same kind of thing.
Bruno. Well, that's the available pivot that we have right now.
No. Don't know about that. I said I'd want to build for next year, so I'll take Edison for now. Personally,
yeah, I've just said mine.
But I'd bite the bullet. I know we need like a 6-figure, but I'd be banking on that next year. We need 2 midfielders. It's the issue with having Bruno on the side.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Jarvis.
Yeah, if you can sign one, as I mentioned, for example, Hjulman, I think he would fit into that midfield, and then I would actually play Ugarte and Hjulman.
Yeah, you like Hjulman, I don't. You mentioned him before.
Not progressive enough, though, is it?
He's quite aggressive. I think.
No, progressive. He's not progressive enough though as a midfield.
He's good on the ball, but maybe you're right. Maybe we need a better ball progressor in that role in the 8. Yeah.
Mr. Dover, I hope that one answers your question. Just a very quick one to this. They're sorting that out as we speak. He's not joined them yet, but they are looking to pay the release clause, and we will get our sell on figure after that.
And hopefully Elanga goes Newcastle so we can get some money.
We get some more as well. Yeah, we get back 25%, don't we, on Elanga, which could be
20,
quite good.
25, yeah.
Guys, 422, you're watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Jarvis, you close out the show, my old mate.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a cracking 2 hours and 28 minutes. We are 970 subscribers as we speak, so we are only 30 subscribers away from getting monetized. So
come on,
if you haven't, now is the time to subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't smashed the like, thank you, Cass, for coming on.
Yes.
Thank you, Stu, as always. And to the chat, Stephanie, Genghis Khan, V, Bend Over, Boxing Straight Talk, JB Wayne, Hook 2CN,
cool.
all of you guys, you know who you are. And thank you to, big thanks to our new members, Smoke and With the Bird. Welcome to the team. So it's been a great show. We will be back Thursday night, 9 p.m. Unless something big happens, maybe we'll go live.
We're going to do 9, aren't we? We're going to try and do 9 if we can. If something big happens, we may go early. We don't know.
Yeah.
But keep an eye out for us, please.
Yeah, it's been a great show. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I don't know, maybe we should... no one is live this late, so we can't do
we can't raid anyone, can we? No. We need to do a raid. Never went live earlier, didn't they?
Yeah, he's not live yet. So
he's gone. He's back. I wonder where he gone there.
It's what happens when you got a wireless mouse. And then,
I wonder what
there's a button on the side of the Logitech where it just goes back. And it's like, oh, great.
You're not going live after, are you, Cass? No?
Actually, I know who's live. Monster's going live. I say that now, yeah, but this guy takes forever. I don't know if you want to raid him once. I can show you.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I'm subscribed to Mons.
I'll put in a private chat. But he's going to be talking absolute rubbish with his Liverpool therapy shows. So nothing.
We don't want to raid him. We don't want to raid him. Definitely not. We'll try and raid someone Thursday. Yeah, we'll try and raid someone Thursday.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Technical issues. Great show. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back next Thursday. And check out Cass's channel. He go live 2 times a day, 3 times a day.
Pretty much. Last 2 days, I've just done a video and then just one live. I don't like forcing content if there's nothing to talk about. But after I heard about Gyökeres and taking out Sporting, I'm gonna milk that one.
Absolutely.
Just a last minute, because the topic of the show was on Garnacho, and we heard that he was linked to Chelsea and Arsenal now when he wants a Premier League move. What's your thoughts on the latest when it comes to Garnacho?
It smells like play. I saw the link.
I'll go and pick up my lad. Sorry, Cass. I'll go and pick up my boy while you two are chatting away. Cass, great to see you. Thanks again for the raid, mate. Absolutely brilliant. Big up, guys. Love to all in the chat, and I'll see you Thursday. See you guys. Take care, lads. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was thinking, what an absolute mong. Like I saw what's it called on Napoli that he said he told Man United to not accept, and I'm thinking, what do you mean don't accept it? Who is your told? Would accept it. It's down to you if you want to take the opportunity and go and speak to them or not. And I know there's other clubs interested in the Premier League, but let's be realistic. Chelsea going to get Gittins now, so that takes that option away. Arsenal realistically wanting them, let's be real, they're not going to look at you as first choice. And the other one's Aston Villa. And last time I checked, they need to raise 75 million in sales. I'm like, so they're not coming in for you either. So you just better get your ass abroad, mate. Take it or leave it, or go to the gulag. That's the way I look at it. When I say gulag, I mean straight to the reserves.
Yeah.
And there's a World Cup coming on next summer. So going to the reserves is not it's not exactly optional, is it?
No. So, but it could be Garnacho's agents talking now, trying to link him to other clubs just to keep the interest going. Maybe get Napoli to raise their bid.
Maybe, yeah. They need to get a crack on as well. We just need to see, so and so's bidded for Garnacho. I say if you see 45 million, take it, run away.
We're aiming for 70, isn't it?
60. Well, they said up to 60, but if United was going to accept about their 45 million bid in January, it kind of tells me they just want to get rid. I don't think United's got a leg to stand on with trying to sell him for a certain price just because he's a want away and he's kind of said.
Yeah.
I hate him. Everything that surrounds him, his brother, everything about Garnacho, I can't stand him.
I just wanted to get your take on it before we wrap up the show. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, Cass. Thank you to the chat. And we will be back on Thursday, 9 p.m. So have a good one and good night.